That's when I started to realize that the Sherdog Radio Network wasn't just something that was even important to people in the States. I mean, Nasib called from Ottawa a moment ago. That's an international call. The fact that it is 12:03 here in the morning and I have phone calls coming in, more phone calls that would come in for a beatdown after the bell right now means the world to me, because I'm freaking out on the inside here going, does anybody give a shit about what I'm talking about? Apparently you do. And this little machine tells me that Chris is on the line. Chris, welcome to Beatdown.
Hey, what's up, man? Chris from San Diego.
What's up, man? You're just like down the street, like 2.5 hours.
Pretty much, yeah, just down the 5. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm going to throw some old-school radio terms at you.
I love it.
But I just want to give you some love for how much you have stepped up the entire production game in the MMA podcast sphere. It's incredible. Everyone would be on crazy dial-up internet calling into some overseas bullshit if it wasn't for you requiring that everybody hit the post and actually get some legit microphones in their studio.
Chris, the fact that you just said hit the post makes me feel like I have destroyed a part of you that was innocent once before, and now I've dirtied you with my obsession of audio perfection.
I mean, a little bit. Between you and Breen. By the way, I should also give some love to everybody should go subscribe to your Patreon just for Collapsed MMA alone. Like, you and Jordan Breen right now are putting out what I would argue is the greatest MMA show to be found on the internet now that the Rewind with Jack Encarnacio is no longer around.
And, you know, you mentioned Jack. I mean, Collapsed MMA is just a ripoff of his podcast, The Lapsed Fan. And
exactly.
Yeah, Collapsed MMA is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, and I think that's why we're behind a week. We're going to be doing this sort of a hat nod to Tito Ortiz and the rivalry that he had with Ken Shamrock. And if you haven't listened to Collapsed MMA, Between Rounds is worth it for that alone. And I believe that's where most of our subscribers come from. But the point is, with Between Rounds, is to do... I mean, I started Between Rounds simply because we were going through changes here, and I wanted to do a show like Collapsed MMA, but there was no budget at Sherdog for it, and you can't put the amount of time required into a podcast without paying people, or without at least offering to pay people. And I wasn't going to ask Jordan without having money to give him. Hopefully he's a little lenient on what that check is going to be, because I'm going to need some of it. But Collapsed MMA is great, and I'm happy you're liking it, Chris, because it is a hardcore MMA show. It's a hardcore fan show. You're not going to get a lot of the humor if you're not an old school fan, but I think at the same time we go out of our way to try to keep maybe the newer fan in mind, and educating them on some of the old personalities that we're shouting out.
That's right. Well, I mean, where else am I going to get that hot WEC Halloween Fury content?
Right. I mean, if it weren't for Collapsed MMA, we wouldn't know the greatness of Jean Jacket Machado.
That's right. The greatest.
Right. Or Meth Linland.
Oh, my God. Meth Linland. How do you just insult yourself like that?
Oh, man. If people don't know, please go back and listen to WEC 17 Halloween Fury, because it is a show and a half, to say the least.
It's special for sure.
Yeah, I ran into Steve Ramirez, who fought Gil Castillo on that card, whose cup just is Houdini and escapes his shorts multiple times. He's part of the California State Athletic Commission. I mean, I would have never known that. I've seen this guy multiple times at Tachi, but because we did Collapsed MMA on WEC 17, I put 2 and 2 together that was the guy, and it was just like, Collapsed MMA is incredibly rewarding as someone who's producing it. I think there's a lot in there for listeners to gravitate towards.
That's hilarious. I actually saw Larry Landless at a local show down here in San Diego not too long ago with a gold chain on. So
Oh, man.
you guys are right on brand always.
Some things never change.
Right?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, well, I'll let you guys go, but I just wanted to shout you out to some love, TJ, and man, just so excited to hear what you guys have coming up on Between Rounds.
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you supporting.
Of course, man, anytime.
Take care.
What up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Sound of Violence podcast. I'm Pulver, and I'm here with my co-host, Chris Madaffer. What up, bruh?
Yo, man, just, I'm here again.
That's right, we made it another week through crazy MMA nonsense. This week has been wild as shit. We should start, actually, well, if you guys haven't heard the podcast, we're a podcast that talks about MMA podcasts, cover the ones you should be listening to each week. We also talk about one you should skip, one you can't miss, and we try to cover a new show or two every week, of which there was a lot this week, as a matter of fact. But we should start with our intro. So, Chris, I called in, so that was me, if you guys didn't pick it up. I was a little high and drunk because it was 1 a.m. I tried to cut back the beers and drinking it by the time I knew it was going live. But I was already like a good 6 beers and 2 or 3 shots in.
But did they queued you up before they put you on there?
No, you just call in and you're
And
like,
that's it,
fucking, oh,
yeah.
I hear radio all of a sudden. So I called in because that was the last ever live Sherdog Radio Network podcast. They're going to 1 a week now, and I believe TJ is going to... basically, they had to actually close down the actual studio where he was doing it. Now he's going to be working from home, doing it once a week.
Okay.
Because they're basically killing off the radio network from the sounds of things. It's a fucking bummer. And that was their very last live episode. And I was the very last caller, except for Jeff Sherwood, who was the last one.
Yeah.
So basically, I was the last caller ever on the Sherdog Radio
cool. Yeah,
Network,
it's good
which
that you
I'm pretty happy.
That's good that you got a shot, that you gave yourself an opportunity, that you're able to get in the call.
Well, I just wanted to get in so I could plug fucking Collapse MMA, because Collapse MMA is so goddamn good. Everyone needs to go subscribe to the Patreon, which evidently a handful of people did. So I'm glad that happened. But yeah, I had to call in because I was listening to it and I was like fucking choking up because I was drunk, and I was like, God damn it, fucking TJ, fucking Jordan Breen show's gone now. Like, who knows what's gonna happen with that? We'll talk more about it in a bit, but that was our intro, which is it was cool to be a part of, and I wish I was a little less drunk and high when I did it, but I feel like I still conveyed what I was trying to, which is that you guys should listen to fucking Collapsed MMA. But before we get into format, we should shout out our sponsors. First off, we're sponsored by Kangaroo's MMA Gym in Sydney. Y'all can find it at MMAtycoon.com. Shouts out to Judo Bill Tyler, who's the homie. Also, who hit me up talking about podcasts and let me back in the gym this week, so that was nice of him. So shouts out to that dude. He's super cool. And Chris, we are going to get into our other official sponsor for this week. Do you know what it is? You guys, this is a surprise. Chris doesn't know what it is, but I think he's starting to put some math together.
No, not right now.
Okay.
Blank.
I'm going to hand you this glass because I'm going to pour some for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Do
God.
you know what it is?
Oh, well, it has to be what I just tried earlier. God damn it. You piece of shit.
Go ahead and tell the people. what we
Nah,
got.
dude, I'm not drinking one full one of those.
So we
Fuck
got
no.
Beatbox mixtape beverage, the blue raspberry.
Yeah, I'll just say
one.
this. I went to...
You're right. This should be our artwork for this week. now that I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about it.
If that's the thing, if I'm going to split this with you, I'm not even drinking anymore because this shit is fucking disgusting.
Well, Chris, it comes in a coconut water package. It contains 11.1% alcohol by volume. Beatbox mixtape beverage. Also, note blue raspberry. It's hella Z's up in that.
Yeah, they're trying to be hip.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, it says it's mixed in Austin.
Here
we go.
Snap it, bro.
Don't ruin the party. Please drink responsibly. She also told me to check out their YouTube page.
See, just this is why they put it in that coconut water box, because it makes it seem like, oh, this might not taste that bad. And once you try it, oh boy.
I think technically it's because it's eco-friendly, because it says it like 8 times on this container. But if you guys have not had this...
This is the thing. I can take like shots of like pretty much most types of liquor.
You gotta at least have a sip. That's the rule.
Oh no, I try. I'll have a sip again, unfortunately, but this shit made me wince like a motherfucker, man. Like they said, how do you like it? I said it's okay. I said it's not bad.
So I should specify when I say I don't hate this, and I like it a little bit. Number one, it was $3. We can start there already in. Number two, it's not nearly as sweet as you think it would be. Like, I always expect like more of a, I don't know, like a juice or a Four Loko flavor whenever I hear this shit.
It doesn't taste as bad now, but it's like, it's just gonna give me a fucking stomach ache. That's why I just don't like drinking like sugary malt drinks.
It's definitely super
it's
sugar.
It's just way too much sugar, man.
It tastes like something you get in Vegas. Or at a like a fancy hotel bar that's like... This is what you drink at a pool bar. You know what I'm saying? Like a swim-up bar.
Dude, I swear to... Thank you, Beatbox, for being the unofficial sponsor.
That's
but
right.
I would rather honestly have like a cranberry flavor, like Mike's Harder Lemonade, at least, because at least it just tastes like lemonade.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I'm also a trash person who likes Smirnoff Ice. I would say I would go for Smirnoff Ice as well. But I kind of don't hate it. So this is the official...
Zima, don't forget Zima.
That's right. Oh, I do not like Zima. We had that episode, and it...
Dulce.
Yeah, no me gusta Zima. That shit tastes like fucking... It's fine.
That was worse than this.
It just tastes like shitty Smirnoff Ice. But anyway, we'll get into actual format talking about podcasts, because we are not a booze podcast, despite our best efforts. So we will jump into the podcast that we listen to, although I will shout out, this is not the only drink sponsor we have for this episode. So Chris, why don't you get us into the podcast you think people should catch this week?
Oh, disclaimer, I was busy being really sick this week because, well, I drank.
That's right, we're actually recording on a Friday because Chris goddamn alcoholed himself.
Yeah, I had a fever all day yesterday and the day before that because I had lack of sleep studying for a midterm on Wednesday. And the night before, I was blackout drunk on Monday, drinking too much Knob Creek bourbon.
Like a professional,
so my
playing
immune system
Fortnite.
was down its lowest. My roommate was sick, which is why I got sick the next day.
Right. Also, didn't you pass out playing Fortnite and drinking bourbon?
Yeah, I was playing on my Xbox, drinking a glass of Knob Creek bourbon, and my buddy texts me, "Are you dead? Are you still alive?"
It's a good way to go.
Yeah. So there's that. So yeah, I actually have 0 notes. I listen to a bunch of podcasts, but now I actually can't remember half of them. So this is
classically how this goes for me as well, or used to.
So let's see. Fuck. Can I? Let's see. God damn it. Okay.
Do you want me to start with one of mine?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. If I name one, and I know you probably listened to too, I'll probably be like, oh yeah, I remember that, because literally all you have to do is say one thing. So yeah. I remember Luke Thomas' live chat was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
I think he talked about the incident with a homophobe and a douchebag.
That's right.
A goddamn boomerang.
As Joe Rogan put it, Fabricio Verdum threw a fucking boomerang at Kobe.
I saw the video today at work. On my break.
He was
hilarious. Laughing. He's like, I shouldn't laugh because it's actually assault with a weapon.
Right.
It's a fucking weapon.
Also, Joe Rogan tries to later find out what boomerangs are because he doesn't.
Oh, and he has a video or something like that, and
yeah,
he's like, oh, it doesn't go back to you. It goes to your general vicinity.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. But yeah, Luke Thomas live chat was solid. The only problem I had with it is the audio was kind of rough. Because it skipped around.
Oh, dude, I remember you at halftime.
His internet's so bad.
Something, and it. I remember he said, even though I knew he said T.J. Dillashaw versus Dominic Cruz, he's like, if T.J. Dillashaw also would have fought, that would be a good fight. Probably said Cruz.
Yeah, and he's talked about, which we'll get into later, that Comcast is basically fucking him.
Oh, that's what he said like 10 times. Yeah. I fucking hate Comcast.
Because they have he says he has Fios like blocks away from him, but where he's at, all he can get is Comcast. And he's on like the highest.
Is that like that
amount.
Verizon Fios or whatever or something like that?
Yeah, Fios is like about as close to fiber as you can get.
It might even fiber be literally fiber. The like fastest possible internet you can have.
Not the fastest, but like it's the commercially available fastest one. From what I remember, it's been a couple years since I'm left fucking networking school, so.
Oh no, I just remember one time, I think it was like last year, 2 years ago, my dad, I think has like T, whatever the fuck it's called, whatever that T bullshit is for internet. The T3.
T.
Something.
I keep wanting to say T1000, but I know that's wrong.
I was playing, I had my Xbox.
Yeah, it's a T3.
I was like watching his dogs when he's out
Rogan
town.
always brags about that shit.
Oh, yeah, he's like, my T1 connection or some shit.
Yeah, it might be T1.
Yeah, I remember my dad had, like, the one below that one, and I was, like, watching his house.
The T.75.
Something, right? And I was playing Xbox on a game where, like, you can get host. I think it was Gears of War, and I was like, wow, I'm always winning. Because the internet was...
Oh, yeah, ping is life, cool. Dog.
Yeah, my ping was always low, so I was like, oh, only 30. Fuck you. So Rogan, it's like 150.
Yeah, Rogan literally bought a fucking T1 line. It is T1, now that I say it loud. Just for Quake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Did he spend 10 grand? Yeah. It's at 10 grand. Something insane.
But that was also news radio Rogan when all he was doing was playing Quake all goddamn day like a degenerate. So, pre-weed Rogan. Actually, it might have been mid-weed probably if I was to guess.
Wait, didn't he actually kind of discover weed later?
Yeah. Like not.
Well, to be fair, dude, if you're a martial artist, you're always going to be kind of constantly probably just being in shape and not smoking weed.
It's really funny. You can hear the old Loveline. There's an episode of Loveline that Rogan was on, pre-weed and post-weed, and they're completely different. It's really funny. And he talks a lot about it on the show. It's pretty dope. I'll put a link in the description because I know Superfan Gio, the homie, has it up on his website or somewhere. I forget where that's all hosted nowadays. I want to say lovelinetapes.com, but I don't know if that's still up. If you Google classic Loveline, you'll see it. That fucking cricket, I swear to God, man. I'm going to start eating crickets.
You know who it is? It's Kevin Spacey. It's Hopper in A Bug's Life. That's why he's being a piece of shit.
God damn it.
Am I right?
That's
Wasn't
right.
that him? Yep.
That's right.
Or even though it's a grasshopper, same thing.
I'll take it.
Yeah, a cricket's a cousin of a grasshopper. Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, you're going to go with Luke Thomas live chat?
Yeah. I just remember he
talked a lot about the card that happened. He talked he talked about the upcoming card, a lot about
I remember
questions about the Conor stuff.
He talked about Conor's apology,
Martin apology.
Mark Goddard's stance on it and stuff.
Yeah, Mark Goddard's statement is so legit.
Yeah, I read that. That was impressive.
He's a man.
I just like how he's pretty much alpha in the whole thing. He's like, oh, Conor was never of any of my concern.
Yeah. For sure. Like, I don't give a fuck about Conor.
I think he said Mr. McGregor was not of my concern or something like that. Yeah.
What was the... Oh, yeah. A lot of fuck Comcast, basically. What was my notes on that show. And the rough audio. Alright, I'll get into my catch for this week. Which is barely a podcast. I'm calling it a podcast because they're just an RSS feed away from it being a podcast. It's really just a YouTube show, but I mean, there's the only reason you need videos because they're both adorable. Is the Aussie and Fancy show, of course, and their UFC Sydney breakdown. Super good episode, mostly because Megan Anderson knows a shitload about everybody because it's all Sydney fighters or a bunch of them on the card. Right. So she talks about like how she knows them from the local scene and. It's pretty funny. Laura opens with a terrible Aussie accent, as always.
Oh, great.
It's real bad. Here's a quote from Laura. The injury bug is like, I'm going to F Australia in the A.
Oh, like she said it like that?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Fucking crack me up. Megan mentions that she knows a lot of people. Talk a lot about Nadia, who's fighting on the card. She doesn't have a ton of competition. And Megan mentions that the card she's fighting on, for reference, is like... She says, like, Titan is kind of like between, like, a B and a C level league, like Titan FC. This would be, like, a D level league in comparison. And when you look at Nadia, this is like... I heard someone make... I think it was... Who was it? I want to say maybe the Vivisection. Compare it to her to like the Explode FC soccer mom head kick that happened here in San Diego. Yeah. It's like that kind of promotion because Nadia's been fighting mostly cans. So they mentioned, I mean, it's like I don't think any of her opponents have ever had a win on their record. And like one of her opponents that she fought for a belt against had never fought before and ate like one spinning back fist early and like half died. Laura also mentioned she's no longer making picks on the show, because I'm guessing John Anik got in her head. Because John Anik doesn't make picks on John Anik's podcast.
Well, yeah, he has.
Well, because they work for the UFC. Like,
yeah,
Laura does.
Yeah.
Like, Laura's working. I don't know if she's working this show or the next show. But she's, like, she works the. Like, she'll do post-fight stuff for the UFC, like, in the same role that Joseph Benavidez's wife does.
That's right.
Megan, no, not
Megan O'Leary.
Megan O'Leary, thank you. They talk about Volkanovski being a rugby player. Talk about how Elias Theodoro is calling himself the main event nowadays.
Oh.
MANE.
The main event, like, not anywhere popular?
No, the main event, like, hair. MANE.
Oh, god damn it.
Yep.
And Maine's like, I got long hair like a horse.
Yeah. Some fun Australia facts. Evidently, they call KFC the Dirty Bird in Australia, which gets brought up when Tim Means versus Bilal
hey,
was talked about.
Watch out for a fucking famous bull, mate, at the Dirty Bird.
Right?
Like,
fucking Jesus.
famous.
Jesus. Jessie Jess is fighting Beck Rawlings, and Megan knows both of them super well. Talks about their history.
Is Beck Rawlings still fighting? Because I thought I saw Angie.
Beck Rawlings is.
I thought I saw. Did Angie Hill tweet something saying good luck to Beck Rawlings? Or
yeah.
She's,
okay. They're both from Alliance.
Well, no, I know that. But when I saw her tweet or say something, I thought it said, oh shit, she's not fighting. I must have been fucked up or something.
Check their Twitter right now. Check Angie's, but I'm pretty sure she is. Unless she is, like, already blowing weight. Or one of them is. Oh, actually, I didn't check weigh-in results. We should do that before, we'll do that on the next break. Anyway, yeah, it talks about Jessie Jess moving down from 135 and mentioned she missed weight at bantamweight before. Said this is the second time she tried to make 125 rather, and the first time was in Jules, and she missed 125 by 10 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of concerning. I like Jessie Jess, and we'll talk about the fight later, but I like both these chicks, even though Megan is not the biggest Beck Rawlings fan. Here's some quotes for you. You're a mother of two. I feel like you should not be as trashy. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's like, Beck is super nice. I love Beck. I don't like Beck's personality online. It's not great. It's like, I mean, I can't really disagree with you. She does a stripper gimmick online, basically. Megan does mention that Jessie Jess's low kicks could be a huge factor, and depending on the weight of both of them, that could play a big factor as well. And Megan talks about how Jessie Jess and Beck had a big rivalry in the regional scene coming up, but then they bonded over having super shithead ex-boyfriends at one point. Because Jessie Jess has a famous one who's a giant piece of shit. He's the guy who,
War Machine level piece of shit?
Not as bad, but yeah, also beat the shit out of her. Just not War Machine levels of beating the shit out of her. Yeah. Which I'm not sure if that's the same guy that dated Jessica I. Might have been. Giant piece of shit. You can see him in her corner, I believe, if it's the guy I'm thinking of in some early fights. Anyway, and then Megan Anderson calls Colby a little fuckface for talking so much shit on Brazil. It's like, Colby's just a little fuckface. It's like, that's hilarious, except with the accent, so it really helps sell it. But, just a funny episode, and I really like their banter back and forth. Laura Senko, I believe, ends the episode by saying, oh my god, I'd like everyone to notice how shiny my forehead is in this video. And it's just goofy. They point out that Megan is wearing Uggs, but she's actually wearing Uggs from Australia, because she's from Australia. Australian wool. So, fucking just a fun episode. I liked it a lot. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it sounds funny. And speaking of Uggs, I don't think I've ever tried on Uggs. I don't know if my mom or anyone that I've ever known has had them, but they probably look comfortable. Maybe they're from Australia.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just don't wear them in public.
I'm a dude, so I don't.
Just don't wear them in public.
Well, or don't have a dick and wear Uggs.
Okay, if you want to go there.
I mean, I kind of do.
Sure, I'll leave it at that for you, for everyone to hear.
Yeah, no, I'll stand by that. I'm into that statement. It just has 0% to do with...
How about this? Gender neutral drugs. There we go. We just solved Chris's dilemma.
Gender neutral Uggs or drugs?
I said Uggs.
Both.
I think drugs are gender neutral by default.
Depends on I don't know, man.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's good, yeah.
I almost made an unfortunate joke about a certain 145er that I'm going to bail on.
No.
All right. So, why don't we carry on, Wayward Son, with this, that was a terrible reference. This fucking beatbox mixtape has a lot of sugar in it.
It's already fucking up Chris, as you guys could tell.
It's not good. I shouldn't be just drinking this out of a carton.
Please don't. Can you just... Dude, just go give it to some homeless people. Okay, take that. That's fucked up. Well, they would drink it, though. They would drink it, though.
If I keep drinking this, I'll be one of those homeless people. And we haven't even announced our second booze sponsor for the episode. So, why don't you get us into our skip before I completely take this shit off the rails?
Okay, skip.
If you have a skip. Or I can bring up my skip, and it might very well be yours.
Yeah, what's yours?
UFC Unfiltered 146. Bobby Kelly and Alex from Planet of the Apes.
What the fuck one was that? Wait, let me see what I listened to. This is the thing. When I'm working at the UT, that's when I listen to most of my podcasts. If I'm like posting shit or doing stuff, not gonna lie, I can maybe hear like 30% of the whole podcast because it's kind of like just tangent noise in the background.
Well, that's also a good way to quickly learn exactly how much of the podcast
let me see.
You find interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I listened to you listened to Alex Ponovich and Sage. See, I listened to when James Vick, and he had a really good interview.
Really?
I like James Vick, yeah.
Nice. Did you have any skips that you listened to? Do you have like a playlist or some shit? I'll get into mine while you do that. My skip is, like I said, UFC 146. Mostly because I don't care about fucking acting, bro. High five, you acted. You're real pretty, I get it. Bobby Kelly is subbing in for Matt Serra. Fucking Bobby Kelly, dude.
Isn't he another stand-up comedian?
Yeah, he's the guy Bill Burr always talks about. Fucking Bobby Kelly. Fucking Bobby. Let's see. They have some actor named Alex from Planet of the Apes who spells his name Aleks. To be fair, he is
the
European.
Current Planet of the Apes reboot that they did?
I think so. Yeah. It was, yeah.
Is he the oldest shit?
No, yeah, because they talk about fucking Monkey Boy.
Andy Serkis.
Thank you.
Played Caesar, yeah.
Yep.
Also played Gollum.
I like how I just say Monkey Boy, and you know what I mean. Thank God he's not black, because that would be horrible.
That'd be very bad for everyone and yeah, it'd just be bad.
Yeah.
It would even make it worse that he played King Kong.
Yeah, the fact that he's lily white really helps that joke, because otherwise I would have some big issues. Let's see, a lot of boxing talk about Rose winning the belt. Bobby, Kelly, Alex, and Jim all evidently had Rose going into the fight against Joanna.
Okay.
Well, evidently. I don't know when that happened.
Probably good odds.
Because I'm pretty sure
probably like those odds. It was like plus 15, 20, 20,000.
I'm pretty sure I remember Jim saying Rose is going to lose on the fucking podcast. Yeah. Not that long ago.
I think he said that too.
And I don't... it's a lot of that during this episode. Some cool notes, though. Evidently, Alex did do commentary for Bodog at one point. Back when they were doing fights down in, like, fucking Costa Rica and weird places. Also, he's buddies with Josh Barnett. Do you want to know how they met? It's the most fucking Josh Barnett story I've ever heard.
Like somewhere in Japan at a pro wrestling event?
Even better. They were at a Bodog fight that Alex was commentating, and Barnett walked by and he goes, "Holy shit, I saw you get shot in Battlestar Galactica." Wow. And Alex is like, "Oh, yeah." Fucking such a Josh Barnett story. Like,
that's kind of funny, though.
Every part of that story checks out. That dude is the big... I love Josh Barnett. Giant fucking nerd, though. Like, that dude's done magic card gimmicks on Ariel's show and shit like that. Yeah. Like, and he showed up on Jess Duke's stream and called us all nerds. I'm like, motherfucker, you are way nerdier than half the people in this stream. Anyway, funny dude. I like him a lot. They talk a lot about the Bellator Conor chaos. Let's see. Bobby Kelly keeps calling Johanna.
Johanna.
Yeah, he's like, Johanna is fucking...
I think, was that like a famous actor? Like
I don't know.
60s,
yeah,
Westerns?
I literally wrote down, who's Johanna?
No, I'm thinking of John Hanna, but yeah, same thing, but yeah.
Fucking rough. Alex, some more roughness. Alex compares Khabib versus Barboza to Masvidal versus Thompson. It's upsetting. Although, even Alex does mention that Floyd fought Conor out of character and straight walked him down, which is like... I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, if fucking actors who are comparing fucking Masvidal versus Thompson to Khabib versus Barboza, It's rough. Then it gets real off the rails. They talk about acting for what feels like forever. Alex just says the word emotionality a lot and talks about ape school.
All he has to say is emotion. There's no emotionality. It's just emotion.
Oh, I know. But dumb people got it dumb. And besides, if they say longer words, they sound smarter.
Yeah, like someone... I'll think of it when I remember it, when I can recall it.
Was it Brendan Schaub talking to Deontay Wilder? Because, good God.
But they said a word that doesn't even exist. Like...
Emotionality?
No, it was something else.
Ugh, it was rough. Sage calls in. He just does Sage things. They talk about ripping apples. Sage does.
Does he say Mr. Norton? I can't remember.
I'm positive he probably does. He also fucking does the world's worst Russian accent. Because they ask him about like.
Was that Mr. Norton? I tried out for Ivan Drago's son. It was great.
No, he's like they mention the post and everything, and they're like, "Can you do a Russian accent?" He's like, "I break you," but it's like it's bad.
I break you,
yeah.
So like that.
Yeah.
See, how about this? Ivan Drago's son, he can just literally be born in the States. There you go.
Or he's mute. How about Sage just doesn't talk? How about his son is so cold he has no voice? That's some real shit. And then Matt Serra calls in and saves the episode. He talks about making fun of old people falling out of wheelchairs at Disneyland and just bombing. He also talks about doing edibles at Disney World. And then they briefly talk about UFC Norfolk. Or Norfolk.
Norfolk.
Yeah, Norfolk.
Yeah, okay, I remember my skip. It's actually 3 Amigos, but only because the first half was really solid. They were kind of just recapping last week's events. They kind of both went over the Connor thing for a good while. I get it.
Steffi really likes Connor.
Yeah, there's that, and then
Ian's European.
The Scottish guy, I think he's Scottish. He sounds pretty Scottish. Yeah. He's basically saying how it affects European fans. You know, the Irish, how they're so passionate. You know, they let it slide. Yeah, because they're so committed. Right. Then I lost them. I just turned it off when they just literally started talking about the Lakers, the Ball brothers, NBA. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
Oh, you didn't know they have a segment on the show called Sports That Can't Stop No Double Leg, where they talk about I think it's Sports That Can't Stop No Double Leg, where they talk about stuff outside of fighting. Because they're all a bunch of fucking basketball and football nerds, but they're like not. They're like casual as fuck basketball and football nerds.
I don't even watch basketball, and I kind of felt like I knew more than what they're talking about.
That's what I mean. It's like they're really good at MMA. They're really casual. And then
the chick, what's her name again, kept trying to explain baseball rivalries to him.
Well, that's got to be a weird conversation too. It's like, how much cricket references can you make?
I was just like, dude, baseball's over. Like, the Dodgers lost. Everyone is happy.
Right.
Everyone here is happy.
Right. Well, yeah.
Well, to be fair, San Diego does have a lot of LA fans. San Diego has every fans.
Right. Well, while we have a team anyway. We give it a couple years. I'm sure
to be fair, though, as long as Petco doesn't decay, it's all there.
Petco is dope too. Petco's
the Padres will always be. They'll never leave.
I like Petco even though I don't like baseball. How about that?
No, that's really why it's amazing. Dope. Like, it's just dope to be at. Like,
it's a fucking...
You can just be like this. You're talking with your friends, just having all this amazing beer and food. Oh, fuck yeah, we scored. Okay, what are you talking about? You know
Not even that. I'm always facing away from baseball.
Yeah, you look when there's a big crack. You look when there's a big crack in the bat and someone hits a fucking home run. You're like, oh, cool.
I mostly just look towards either the bar or the sushi or the Mexican food. I'm like, yo, let's just get real right now. There's a Ballast Point next to a sushi place, next to a Mexican food place, and all of them are legit. So let's just get serious about this.
And Petco is amazing for concerts.
I bet. It seemed like it would be a weird venue for it, but I could see it probably being decent.
So that was my skip.
Understandably, that show's good when it's good, but it can meander for sure. All right. Well, do you want to get into your can't miss then?
Yeah, my can't miss. I'm trying to. Okay, Co-Main was solid because Master Tweet Theater was
Co-Main was
really
super
funny.
Solid. Here, let me pull up my notes for it because I got a bunch of them.
Help me recall that. I'll choose Co-Main because Master Tweet Theater was making me laugh pretty well.
I really like Co-Main this week.
And I realized Master Tweet Theater is a different guy, right? And it is.
I think it is.
It is. No, but you know why it is? Because you know the intro when it's like, this is the Co-Main Event Podcast with Chad? That is not Chad Dundas or either Ben Folks. That's not them. That's a different person. See what I mean?
Right, but
And that guy is
But
Master
Nigel
Theater.
does kind of sound
he
like
does.
Chad.
No, sometimes he does. But it's that guy in the intro. We have to get to the bottom of this.
The other thing is that Nigel also...
Because I looked it up on Google, too, and people were debating, too, who the fuck is Nigel? Is it really just, Chad?
It sounds like Chad, and they share the same mic, which makes the controversy crazier, because...
Well, no, but he can just back away, though. Yeah.
Well, every time you hear Chad come back on the mic, he goes like, oh, yeah, whatever, Nigel.
Yeah, that's true,
and then he goes back over to the quiet.
And they're never interrupting each other.
No, but they also I've been thinking about this for a couple years, and I still am not convinced it's not Chad, but I don't think it is.
See, okay, this is the thing. Next time you listen to the intro, it's a dude's voice that's neither of them. I swear to God.
No, I'm sure, but
I feel like that's the guy who's Nigel.
It might be.
It has to be, because I listened to it with their voices. I'm like, oh, it's that guy in the fucking intro.
That could make sense.
Who doesn't have a name. Because I remember someone else online said it's one of their friends.
That's what I would figure it is, because he's not always on.
Yeah.
But that also just adds the conspiracy. What if you did do a fake character? You would also obviously not have him on all the time and say he's off fucking, I don't know, blowing Jean-Claude Van Damme somewhere or something. Whatever Nigel likes to do.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something along those lines. He's just following Luke Rockhold around carrying, I don't know, souffles.
It sounds like it adds up.
Yeah, checks out, right? But they did do a lot of news talk. They talked about the fights last week. Junior Albini wearing a diaper against Orlovsky.
That's right. That's the thing. I don't think I saw him. Did he actually wear a physical diaper on the way out?
No, but the way he tucked his shorts and the color of the shorts made it look
yeah. I saw a picture of that. That looked really weird.
It's real bad. It's real awkward. Let's see. They also talked about
his nickname, Baby.
Yeah, remember? I believe I was calling him. I don't know if it was last week or this week, or maybe it was during the fights. I was calling him Junior Big Baby Albini all weekend.
Because I like to call him Junior Albino because you accidentally called him. Well, that's how we get nicknames.
Right, but Big Baby Albini is one of my favorite combos of words.
Sounds like some
ever.
Mobster.
Yeah, Big Baby Albini. Or it sounds like a friend of Action Bronson.
Are you trying to say I wear a fucking diaper?
Yeah, exactly. Literally, yes. Everyone is saying that. Everyone. They talk about Clay Guida calling for the crowd to help with the UFC contract negotiations. They talk about Zuffa boxing bullshit and whether it's actually going to happen.
Watch. It'll be literally everyone that's an MMA fighter is, I can box, mate.
Yeah, they bring up
One punch.
God damn it.
Repping Sacramento.
Yeah,
all day.
Speaking of dudes who would get worked by Phil Davis, the Bellator attorney, they do talk a bit about that. And Chad calls Junior Albini wearing a diaper. Chad calls the Bellator tournament Bellator's Junior Albini wearing a diaper moment, which I really appreciated. Thought that was pretty good. Also, Chad puts the odds that the tourney gets finished, like it actually happens and completes.
How's the format of that tournament again? They just have a fight every so often,
yeah,
and they just keep.
They're trying to all of next year. They're gonna do like a old school Bellator like they used to do, like within a year from. They're gonna start at the beginning of the year, and they're gonna pair dudes up, and the final fight's gonna be for the belt at the end of the year.
Okay.
But Chad says that he puts the odds of the tourney actually completing at around 60%. And the odds that one of the people that are in the tourney is actually the winner at around 15%, which I totally agree with, especially based on any Strikeforce or Pride tourney. Especially this Strikeforce tourney. Talk about Matt Brown getting the win, the Master Tweet Theater, which my favorite part
What was the one with Cody Garbrandt? Because that one was kind of... Maybe there's one before that. I didn't write down any
I don't remember. I do remember that the Master Tweet Theater is sponsored by TRL, who straight up stole the name Master Tweet Theater and the whole bit.
TRL from MTV,
yeah.
right? I forgot about that.
They were just joking about how, Sir Nigel gets all mad. He's like...
He's like, damn you, Carson Daly.
Yeah.
Or something like that, right?
This episode is sponsored by...
Yeah, sponsored by
MTV's TRL. They took our bit. And they talk about Bellator Chaos or Conor Chaos at Bellator, stuff like that. But good, it was a good episode for sure. I really liked it. I mean, the problem with that show is if you know what that show is, it's not like a show I ever really pick because if I recap it to you, it's gonna sound like every other show. but like they're just so goddamn quippy and excellent at everything. Like the subtlety in the deliveries
we
on that
sometimes
show.
could play off each other well. It's mostly inside jokes.
Well, and it's mostly us being loud drunks too, where they're like very subtle and quippy about and very like you can tell they're both writers.
Yeah,
they're super quippy and their timing is excellent. So I'm just a huge fan of that show, and yeah, I absolutely recommend people check that out. Because it was a solid one. For my can't miss this week, we talked a bit about it, but it is the TJ Santis' last Sherdog Radio Network episode. The live finale on Sherdog is what it's called. I mean, it's kind of an important moment. Sherdog Radio Network is one of the longest lasting MMA podcasts that have been around outside of Tag Radio / MMA Junkie. And one or two others that are not as big. I know Carson's Corner has been around for a long time. And of course, shouts out to Ryan Bennett and I want to say Shane. I always forget this dude's name. The dude who was around before Ryan. But TJ is one of the guys when it comes to MMA podcasts and how much they've grown. As you guys heard me talk about in the intro, so you already heard 5 minutes of me talk of this episode, so I won't cover too much, but TJ basically talks a lot about the history of the Sherdog Radio Network, where it came from. So anyone that's interested at all in the history of that radio network or those podcasts or those how people got hired on to Sherdog, super informative and really interesting. It's a big retrospective, essentially. People start calling in, talking about classic moments they had on the radio. TJ just continues on with some history stuff. TJ tells a story I've heard a couple times now, I think, over the years, where he lost internet at his parents' house because of a gas leak that was getting checked on, and so the whole fucking network shut down for a bit, and just how much it's grown since then. He brings up
what do you do now? Play a board game?
Yeah, well, he brings up one of that Jordan Breen is one of the greatest radio talents we've ever seen, which I could not back more. TJ mentions guys like Josh Gross and how integral they are to the sport and the history of
Wasn't he the guy that first got banned by Dana, or not by Dana?
Exactly. He's
it was Dana. Yeah.
Well, and that the history behind him getting banned by Dana is kind of even crazier than most people remember, because everyone remembers him being the guy who leaked the Tough Finale results, the Ultimate Fighter results. That's what
the one from
I forget which one.
No, wasn't it the first one?
No, I think it was 4 or something.
Oh, so Matt Serra beating Chris Lyle?
No, but not the main event. I mean, she spoiled the season.
Oh, he just had Matt Serra won or some shit. No.
I forget
he made the finals, something like that. The finalist, he not the finalist.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But he talks about, TJ mentions that, which a lot of people don't know, Josh Gross was offered a job by the UFC before that. A while before that, but he turned it down because he's like, I'm a fucking journalist. I can't have a goddamn job with a promotion. It's unethical as shit. It makes me no longer a journalist. I'm a fucking publicist.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah. But he's one of 2 people to ever turn down that offer. Well, it's him and Brian Stan are the 2 people to walk away from the UFC like that, which is kind of impressive. TJ mentions that all of the music that you've heard on the Sherdog Radio Network over the years are by his buddy Odin Smith, who is there. Sammy, a.k.a. Mustachio, a.k.a. Groundbird, a.k.a. Aircat. Sammy is the man. He's our buddy down here in San Diego. He works at a pizza place out in North Park, which he's a manager at. I don't know. We'll shout out Pizzicato.
That's right. So
you guys can go hit him up, and if you hit me up, I'll come down there and have a beer with you. But Sammy's the best, and he makes all of our music, so I wanted to shout him out. But it's cool hearing TJ give some love to the guy who does all his beds, because TJ has some great music beds that Odin Smith made. I called in, obviously, as we heard, and then the last person ever to call in after me was Jeff Gross. Sorry. Wow, I just combined 8 names back to back. Jeff Sherwood was the last one to call in, and TJ just gets all emotional and sentimental, and Jeff starts making fun of him. And that's where that is. They're still going to do a weekly episode, evidently. It's not going to be live.
Patreon, right?
No, separate. Sherdog is still going to have a weekly episode.
Okay.
But it's only one episode a week. It's not live, and it's just TJ and Mike Fredley, like, doing, like, fight recap stuff.
Okay.
But he is doing stuff at the Patreon between rounds, which I highly recommend checking out, because it is the best. And, yeah, if you're missing out, you're missing out. So, yeah, that's my can't miss. Did you listen to any new shows this week?
For me...
Well, actually, you did listen to one with me.
Excuse me, god damn it. Which thing? What the fuck am I talking about?
You listened to the very first Joe Rogan MMA show with me.
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I thought that was a JRE that came out like a day ago.
That's the very first Joe Rogan MMA show, which ironically
no wonder why
enough...
that confused me. I've never seen him drink.
Yeah, well, no, he drinks on the episodes, but normally it's only with, like, if you have, like, Honey in episode, or in studio, or, like, Doug Stanhope, or Fight Companions. He
Dude,
drinks.
yeah, I was like, is it... that's what I was saying. I don't remember this JRE.
Yeah, no, it's the one from...
Okay.
Well, actually, yesterday when we're recording this, it is the very first JRE MMA show, which, ironically enough, he originally called the JRE MMA Hour. And then afterwards, he was like, oh shit, sorry, Ariel, I forgot your shit was called the MMA Hour. We're changing it, which is hilarious because his also wasn't an hour. Why does everyone want the name MMA Hour but never want to go for an hour when they do that?
Yeah.
It's your one gimmick. You can't do your one gimmick. It's like if we were to not ever talk about sounds or things we heard on this podcast.
Yeah, like, remember I told you I made that stupid joke a couple weeks ago? The MMA report. I'm like, add an S, because there's more than one report.
For real. There's like 8 of those at fucking podcasts at this point. But yeah, it was just a good episode. Rogan opens talking a lot about why he's starting the weekly show. Also mentions that he's going to call it the JRE MMA Hour. What else did he talk about? I mean, it's just like him recapping all the crazy shit that's happened. Conor Bellator drama. Rogan does talk a lot about Colby Covington. I think this is before you started listening to it.
Well, I remember I saw that clip, and because I was an idiot, earlier today at work, I thought it was JRE. Yeah, I think it was like some aggregate or like sub fucking channel that likes Joe Rogan stuff.
It does.
But it talked about, it was like, Colby Covington took a boomerang to the face.
Yeah, here's some quotes. Well, first, Rogan talks about how he says part of him thinks Colby Covington is entertaining as fuck. Here's a quote. Fabricio Werdum hit Colby Covington with a fucking boomerang. He starts dying laughing. Rogan doesn't believe boomerangs work. And then it becomes the Boomerang Podcast, where they talk about all boomerang things all the time. Here's the history of boomerangs.
Did
you know boomerangs are between 25,000 years and 50,000 years old? It just becomes the fucking Boomerang Podcast for a bit.
When I think of Boomerang,
it's basically a Rogan episode.
When I think of Boomerang, I think of this little kid playing Ocarina of Time, having to save that little Princess Frog person and the fucking big ass Jabu belly.
I wish I could remember the fucking Ocarina song, because I almost did it like 3 times. Yeah, that's not.
Oh no, that's not
Final Fantasy.
That's not Ocarina. That's the.
That's like Zelda, like the.
No, that's the chick from the Kori Village. When you leave when you're a kid.
Yeah.
That they remember how each boss representative has their own song? Yeah.
I'm aware.
Or some bullshit. I can't remember that.
Fucking Zelda shit. Or Link shit, actually.
I just know that reminds me of the internet meme where everyone's like, I'm a fan of Zelda. It's like a picture of Link.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here's another quote from Rogan. Some people have said it's offensive and you should conduct yourself like a martial artist. Talking about, like, talking all this shit all the time. He's like, but there's no denying the entertainment value of being a shithead. Also, I started a drinking game during this podcast. Every time Rogan mentions the Book of the 5 Rings, take a drink. Every time Rogan says the name Connor, take a drink.
Oh no.
And they talk about how Verdum's one of the best heavyweights ever. Rogan mentions he got really high before the show, and he's drinking, which are always the best.
He looks
Rogan
like he's
episodes.
drinking at least some whiskey or
bourbon. It's whiskey on the rocks for sure, with like a splash of water, which is how you know Rogan's getting toe up from the flow up. That's right. And one of our clips for this week will actually be his quote. of him talking about how everyone is a bitch compared to Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, because he's like, if Frankie Edgar's a bitch,
Yeah.
what kind of benchmark is that? I told you, I'm not gonna do it. I kind of want to tweet him. I just want to say, if Frankie Edgar's a bitch, then the rest of us are all cucks.
I mean, basically. But then you just look like a cuck.
Yeah. I was like, way to set yourself up, asshole. Like,
for real. And then Rogan, of course, starts talking about how they shouldn't use MMA gloves, how the 10-point must system sucks, and it just gets into his regular
what
MMA
kind of gloves should
diatribe.
they use then?
No gloves, and they should fight on a soccer field.
Oh, sounds like
back to this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I know Rogan's sanctity of the sport. Make it a martial contest. We get it.
You might as well just call it Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you and Mirko Krokop in your martial times.
That reminds me, dude. I need to get like an old 360 and get Fight Night champion because of bare knuckle brawl mode. God damn it, that was so fucking
Fight Night
great.
champion is real good. And none of those fucking Fight Night games are on backward compatibility. I looked up backward compatibility.
No,
I
I
was
would
like,
get
oh,
it right now
fucking
for my
Jesus.
Xbox. I would go get Fight Night champion. I don't care if it's $30 because it's rare.
Or 4. Fighting around 4 is good. 3 is good
but I'm saying like because champion had the bare knuckle mode with like the fucking shit. Well, they had the downloadable characters. That was the only time in history where EA Game Face actually fucking worked, man.
Yeah, I've heard the new one's supposed to be good though.
Might be good, yeah.
So, because their new game face for something they just did recently is solid.
Oh, I think it's FIFA. I think it's like super accurate. Yeah. And NHL.
Yeah, NHL I think was the one I was thinking of. Let's see. Any other podcasts you listen to? Like, you listen to Fortnite or anything?
Another MMA podcast was something I listened to. I dug it because of their sound effects, but then it kind of got old.
Wait, which one? Another MMA
And that was
podcast?
called, like half
Oh,
the time.
ANP. Yeah.
ANP.
I've seen their shit on.
It's fine, but the one thing that made me laugh is their Brazilian friend, or sounds like he's South American. Or,
Poha.
yeah, it was a Brazilian guy. I remember he's like, Colby Covington, fuck that guy, or something like that. He's a piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, piece of shit. Yeah.
Checks out.
And then they had like some other guy talking, but I remember how the main guy, he would always have the fucking... This song hasn't been on there in a while, but you remember when they'd say, here's the tail of the tape in that song? Dun 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 dun. I like that every time someone's about to talk, just puts that on.
It's pretty goofy.
Like giving them pressure to start talking. So I thought it was kind of funny. I don't think I'd actually heard of, had listened to AMP before, so I kind of dug it.
I've never heard of it.
But then I was just like, fuck, this is so repetitive though. Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I've never listened to that one. It's been on my list for a while, but I just never got around to it. But yeah, that's super funny. I'm gonna have to give that a listen.
And then unfortunately at work I had to stop listening. This is non-MMA, but I listened to the new episode of Your Mom's House, with Tom Segura.
Shit talk.
And his wife Christina P. Yeah, and they talked about they just have
just
like
know
a
this.
sound
I
clip.
haven't heard this. I just know the.
But
podcast.
it's just the beginning of the show, because their inside joke. Christina P. She keeps talking like with a stereotypical Asian accent. Like she was like, "Oh, I'm going to be actually doing comedy in Portland," instead of like Portland. And then Tom's trying not to laugh, and then it's like all this other shit. Like, oh Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, normally they're all about. They do shitty. Yeah, they have shitty weird.
Like they had the thing where the guy's like, "Oh, have you ever had like a waiter fuck up so bad?" He's like, "Yeah, one time the guy did it." I said, "Wow, nice job, Gene. You really did good there."
Yeah, they have so many weird inside bits on that show. It's hard to even follow them anymore. Let's see. Did you listen to Fortnite?
Yeah, but I don't remember who's on there. If you told me, like...
Bane Ludwig calls in, talk about TJ winning.
Oh, and he said TJ could definitely make weight, right? At flyweight?
Yeah, but that's what they've been saying, but
they have to kind of preach that and kind of really be on
yeah, you figure, right? Missouli calls in, talk about the Bellator chaos with Connor.
Oh, I did listen to him. That's why I recognize the name Mike Missouli when Rogan was talking about Mike who, and I was like, oh, Missouli. Yeah, he was good. I like what he had to say. He was pretty fair, I think, and... who was it? Who's the guy that said, I don't want to go into... What did someone say? I can't remember. It had something to do with Connor. But, dude, every fucking podcast...
I mean, if I took a drink this week, every time someone mentioned the name Connor, I would have been blackout drunk all week. It's fucking ridiculous. That dude, Jesus Christ. Just off Bellator's Twitter alone, I would have been blacked out. He did mention, though, Missouli mentioned that he's going to talk to his lawyers and see what his options are. It's kind of interesting. But I think it's a big old bluff. Jack Swagger the fucking wrestlers fighting
the
now.
WWE guy in Bellator. That's gonna be fun watching him get knocked out.
Yeah. Rampage calls in and he says he didn't know about the Bellator heavyweight.
Oh, dude,
fight.
I did listen
Tournament.
to a little bit of Rampage. He's talking about how Ariel still owes him $1 million because the $1 million lawsuit.
And a girlfriend.
And a girlfriend. Yeah.
And he also says that when he took the Bellator heavyweight fight, he didn't know it was in a tournament. He's like, fuck. Okay.
Oh, he's like me and my fat ass or something like that. He's
and
Tiki
goes and shows up in the background.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
And he said, my barber's here, Ariel, we gotta wrap this out or something like that. And he said, you have a barber come to your house?
Yeah, that's some baller shit. Somebody else, Luke Thomas talked about that recently, too. Funny shit. Which actually will come up in a minute. Cub calls in to talk about getting the Alda or not getting the fight against Max.
You know what? See, now I listened to this on Monday. Yeah, I did hear a Cub. Yeah.
Monday feels like forever ago.
He was really classy about it.
Yeah, Monday feels like forever ago.
It was like, 4.5 days ago, pretty much?
Well, and the way this week of MMA has gone, it's been a crazy news cycle. But yeah, he called in. He's just kind of bummed out about it. Understandably. Mackenzie Dern is fighting in fucking Invicta on December 8th against Colleen Medeiros. She calls in. She is going to fight at 115 pounds despite going like 1 for 3 at making 115 pounds right now.
Mackenzie Dern, isn't she kind of
And
bigger?
she's taking it on short notice.
Isn't she like a natural flyweight? So?
No, because she's only made weight 1 out of 3 times at 115.
Wow, okay. Well, she better start cutting now. Fuck.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, she's taking it on short notice, so that could be rough. But I think she's just going to blow weight and not give a fuck. She seems like she would. Yeah, it talks about going to the UFC. Oh, she was actually the one that mentioned that Sajara Eubanks was a finalist on this season of Tough.
On accident, right?
Yeah. Which, like, I don't know if she meant to say, like, quarterfinalist or semifinalist or whatever. Or if she meant, like, finalist. But she has trained with Sajara. So, kind of leads you to believe.
See, I'm hoping for my cousin Roxy, because I don't know, she looks like she's training on Instagram. That could just be a misdirection. Who knows? Despite
she also has been doing, like, some fucking press stuff.
Training, and press stuff, too.
Going on Tough.
And not teaching, I'm thinking, but maybe it's other teaching.
Yeah, like seminars and stuff she's been doing. And then, let's see, Jimmy Rivera calls in to talk about Dom dropping out and having to postpone another honeymoon.
Oh, yeah, I remember to hear Rivera about that. He kind of did make a little sense as far as his title shot.
For sure.
He needs to fight, I think.
He needs to fight somebody.
He needs to fight Sean Shelby. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, he needs to fight him. Fucking Marlon Moraes.
Yep, Marlon Moraes.
Sean Shelby, you know I deserve it.
Yep. And Jimmy says as far as he knows, he's not fighting in December. I love Marlon, by the way.
No, Marlon's great. I remember
I've been a fan of Marlon for a while.
Florian kept making fun of him the whole time.
Yeah.
Sean Shelby.
Exactly. Actually, we'll get right into that. Anik Florian 131. They're officially on Fox Sports now. Podcast network.
That's right.
Evidently TJ DeSantis is no longer working their fucking podcast.
Oh.
They have a new board op, which like bummed me the fuck out, man. And TJ did mention he found out he lost another job. Come to find out, I hear all about this new board op on the fucking Anik Florian podcast, and they shout out everyone who works on the show, and none of them are TJ. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm gonna fucking stab Fox Sports in its face. Fucking hate Fox Sports. They ruined podcasts. That's why Brendan Schaub left. I literally said on this podcast after we heard the announcement, how'd that shit work out for Brendan Schaub? Not well. So I'm a little worried that podcast is doomed and that it'll never exist again because Fox probably bought the name, and which is insane because it's their names. And I bet you that podcast doesn't exist a year from now, and it bumps me the fuck out. The dog Poirier's went over Pettis. I don't know, some stuff like that. Ray Longo calls in and gets real angry about people fucking acting a fool.
Yeah.
It's like, these fucking kids, goddamn arrogance from champs or ex-champs, from guys like Silva and Connor.
talked about Aljo pretty much being up there now.
Yeah, he says he's so high on Aljo, he's just waiting for him to look like he does in the gym, in the cage. Which is always one of those things where, like, sometimes dudes turn that corner, sometimes dudes don't.
I can see potentially do that.
Mike Pyle was always a guy who people, like, said was a fucking murderer in the gym, but he never quite turned that corner in the UFC. So that's interesting. Monday Morning Analyst. Luke Thomas did an awesome breakdown for the grappling exchanges of Poirier Pettis. Pettier Porous.
Yeah, Pettier and Porous.
Yo, that is my favorite French kids TV show, Pettier and Porous.
Pettier de Porous.
Pettier, how do you Porous?
Oh no. Bringing in a goddamn pun.
That's right. I will go ahead and move on. Believe You Me, did you hear any of that?
Yeah, actually I did. Yeah, Luis was basically...
I like how I've got you saying Luis now.
No, it actually is Luis.
No, it's Luis as...
But then why the fuck is it spelled Luis?
No, wait.
It's Luis,
No, it's
dude.
Luis J. Gomez.
No, it's Luis the whole time, right?
No, he says Luis J. Gomez.
Then why is it spelled Luis on the website and Michael calls him Luis?
It's spelled Luis. He says Luis.
God, maybe I was high.
No, because I've been saying Luis, and you keep telling me it's Luis.
That's probably why, because we're flip-flopping.
Yeah.
God damn it. It is Luis J. Gomez.
I know. I do the same thing when I read it, if it makes you feel better. But there's
I listened to like half of that. He was talking about kind of just feeling a little down, right? Like after...
Yeah, he's just bummed out after the win. He did mention that on the podcast the week before, you could hear the bag of ice that Mike had on his ribs during the show.
Right, yeah.
They kept joking that...
Oh, yeah, they're like, hey, it was Jason Perillo was eating chips. Like, chips.
Yeah.
And we just did his bag
of... crunching ice against his ribs that are so fucked up, which is kind of hilarious. Bisping mentions he was 214 pounds the other day. Is
no, dude, it is Luis. It's official. It's Luis.
No, that's how you spell it. He pronounces it Luis J. Gomez.
What kind of fucking person pronounces Luis Lewis?
Puerto Ricans.
God, that guy's on his long little pedestal or something. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a little pretentious.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's like me saying my name. My name looks like it's Carlos, but I call myself Carlos. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, people be goofy for sure. Let's see. Bisping did give Luke Thomas Show some props because that's where he heard about Silva testing positive. And Mike said actually read some texts he had with Dana of Dana being like, "No, Mike, you need to finish all of your fucking medicals before we sign this."
Yeah, that's right.
Which I thought was funny. And then Lewis asked if weed is allowed in China. And Bisping is like, no, there's like fucking death penalty for that here.
Yeah, he's gonna get thrown in prison.
Yep. And Lewis says that he's probably not gonna go to China then, because I can't bring weed. I mean, really. And then Lewis talks about being a fat goth kid growing up, and how Bisping would have teased him. And then they bring up Conor jumping into the Bellator cage, and Bisping calls it unfortunate but fun. MMA roster was solid. Liz Garcia was in studio. Andrew Montanez from Pluto TV was in studio. And Uncle Hinach Orange was in studio. Phil Baroni calls in. Who else calls in?
The best ever?
Yeah, they actually talk about that. Phil Baroni also talks about how when he was working at the State Spearmint Rhino after knocking out Dave Manet. And he keeps hitting on Alyssa Garcia.
That is actually kind of a brilliant idea for a professional fighter to fucking bounce like at a place like that.
A lot of fighters
like,
bounce
that's
at strip
actually pretty
clubs.
genius.
Or you end up like Melvin Gillard. So maybe not super genius.
What happened to him again?
He did coke, and I don't know. He's fighting in like Russia nowadays or some shit. Or no, he's fighting bare knuckle.
Last time I saw him fight, he got knocked the fuck out by like someone in
Bellator.
I think Josh Koscheck knocked him out in Bellator or something like that.
Something like that, or maybe that was WSOF. One of those. Anyway.
I just remember it was 2 UFC cast-offs.
Caitlin Chukagian calls in, and she's actually super fucking hilarious.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they talk about how she trains with Frankie. She confirmed it's broken orbital. She's out 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, she's out there with Mark Henry, Ricardo Almeida.
Yep. And she also talks about Wiki Feet. Good.
Didn't you just mention that last
Chris,
week?
I'm so happy you don't know what Wiki Feet is, because I didn't either, and it's fucking creepy people.
I thought you mentioned that last week. I'm tripping again.
Did I?
What is it? Tell me. Maybe
It's a Wikipedia for chicks' feet.
Okay, no, none of us ever mentioned that.
Yeah.
I'm tripping, dude.
I was gonna say.
This is me blacking out twice in the past 7 days.
Checks out. But yeah, they were joking about.
Oh, so Rex Ryan goes there,
right?
Former head coach of the Jets.
I'm sure. It's a lot of Alyssa Garcia and Caitlin Chukagian talking about Wiki Feet, and evidently Caitlin has a 4.5 out of 5 on Wiki Feet.
Okay.
So shouts out to her. But whatever. And then Kendall calls in. Kendall Grove. And fucking, we have a huge announcement, you guys. Kendall Grove got a vasectomy.
Wait, is he? Because you know how there's always an athlete that has
kids.
I was gonna say, you know, there's an athlete that always has shitload of kids.
He's
like,
from Hawaii, so
okay.
Of course he has 6 to 8
well,
kids.
because fucking, you know, that one asshole used to play for the Chargers, Antonio Cromartie. He has 14 kids, and he had 2 after he had a vasectomy.
Yeah,
so
I mean, he's no Sean Kemp, but yeah.
Was that someone with like 20 kids?
I believe so.
You know what's the record? Genghis Khan had like 500.
I mean, Genghis Khan's like half the planet at this point. I believe. But Uncle Hinach is so proud, and Kendall actually talks about how Hinata Larange is the guy who talked him into getting a vasectomy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Uncle Hinach calls him his greatest pupil of all time. He loses. Hinata legit loses his shit. He's like, dude, I've been telling you to do that, except sounding like Hinach. But fucking hilarious. And then they asked Kendall whether he's going to be an alternate in the Bellator tournament. And Kendall goes, oh, no, I don't think so. But I am taller than like everyone in it. Which is hilarious.
That's a good answer.
Because he's 6'5", or all of them are like 6'2", 6'3". So I thought that was hilarious. The BBC MMA show, pretty good. It's just them talking shit on Conor and how ridiculous it is that what he did. Here's a great quote. They have one of the best quotes of the week.
Wasn't Dan Hardy really critical? And I know he had that tweet.
That was last week. He was super critical, but he was critical this week too. Yeah.
Was his tweet this week the shit sandwich tweet?
Probably.
I think that was this week. Yeah.
But here's some great quotes. Conor McGregor has gone full Kanye West.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
He's getting insane.
And Hardy also says he's more likely to end up in jail than a ring right now. Which I thought was great.
Kind of right.
And they have a super brief interview with Beck Rawlings. Super brief, like 5-10 minutes. Don't really cover a lot. And then we have the only other show I wanted to cover, Chris. Have you looked at our Twitter at all this week?
No.
Did you know Luke Thomas did...
Luke Shamus?
Luke Shamalama Ding Dong did a special episode this week of a new podcast he's starting.
Well, I know it's not that video thing he did last week. This is a...
What's the video? What video thing?
The watch party. That was
that's the watch party.
Okay, because I did watch some of that last week.
Did you? Well,
yeah.
It's not last week. It was Saturday.
Last Saturday, then.
Yeah.
Which is last week, because tomorrow's Saturday.
Not last week from our show.
Well, fuck off. Last week when motherfuckers listen to this.
Right, but we couldn't have covered it on the show yet.
Yeah.
So it's a new show.
Yeah.
So...
Well, yeah, I see what you mean.
Luke Thomas, UFC Norfolk Watch Party, is my new show. It's his first ever fight companion he's doing. He had his 2 buddies on, Raphael, sorry. And his old Raphael, who of course is a fighter. He's fought a little bit. He also works for Pluto, I believe. And he has on Othello, who's a former producer of his. They started around the Moraes decision. And holy shit, is this awesome. Chris, let me describe this podcast to you. It's if you were to picture Luke Thomas getting drunk and making fun of fights with his friends.
Yeah, because he had the... when you texted me to tune in...
It's literally the fucking Luke Thomas Joe Rogan podcast.
Well, yeah, when you told me to...
it's the Luke Thomas fight companion.
When you told me to tune in, you texted me, you're like, bro, he's drinking a fucking, like, watermelon-flavored Four Loko or something like that.
Great segue, Chris.
And
Keep talking.
And I remember I checked it out on what Reddit was thinking about it, and they're just like, Christ almighty. I remember someone was like, oh... I forgot there's a reason why I don't like Luke Thomas, but I can't think of it. I mean, I thought that was a little kind of like a backhanded fucking... Well, you can have fun killing yourself.
Our episode is also sponsored by Four Loko.
Yeah, I'll make you happy and I'll have a sip, but that's about as far.
Oh, you're goddamn right you will. I've got a sour apple Four Loko here.
Well, see, that sounds better than the bullshit flavor I had last time, which is like, no, that's good, man. Nah, fuck that.
You guys should see the
looks
baby
like,
cup
as they said in the
him.
movie Role Models, looks like nuclear horse piss.
Yeah, it's very green. It's greener than the environment.
It smells like that.
Right
what was that really good? Besides the Jolly Rancher, what was that really good? Oh, the caramel apple. Remember those
the caramel apple pop things?
Yeah, man, that's what it smells
like.
Yeah,
it's not bad actually. This is the best one. They didn't have watermelon, which is what Luke was drinking, so I got caramel. I got the apple one. It's not bad, right?
It's not like bad.
For 14%, it's not bad. How about that?
See, these things, I'm glad I avoided these when I was a teenager. This shit, I probably would have just chugged like an idiot, and I would have just barfed my brains out.
Also, when I was a teenager and we were drinking them, they had caffeine. And you
people died. Didn't people die?
No,
someone died.
Babies.
Well,
babies
no,
died.
you're just probably idiots,
Bunch of goddamn amateurs.
Well, no, it was probably people who drank like 5 in an hour and just got alcohol poisoning, right?
Goddamn amateurs! I had a good run with Four Locos and Shout out to Sparks. Sparks was so good back before that got banned. Anyway, Luke Thomas immediately makes a Nacho Vidal reference about 3 minutes in. Luke says that he's waiting for his dogs to die to get new floors. Luke talks about how Beats by Dre are garbage for the price, and he's super high on DJ Khaled headphones.
Here's a DJ Khaled.
Oh, here's a quote for you.
I gotta look at this.
No,
I don't even give a fuck about DJ Khaled.
Here's a quote for you that is goddamn amazing. Fuck Stephen Hawking. DJ Khaled is the shit. That's a Luke Thomas quote. Barbas makes a cameo. They start drinking Four Loko. Luke describes his career as a satire. Loud and sad. The
Jesus
Luke Thomas
fuck,
story.
dude, this shit's $600.
Yeah, they're real ass headphones.
But they're like actual headphones.
They're like they're the best quality headphones of all time.
Oh, because he's an actual producer, right? Like, so he would kind of know how to work. Kind
of. Let's see. Luke and Othello talk about doing coke.
Cool.
Luke described Four Loko as liquid death.
Yeah, right now, guess what I feel? Burning in my chest. Probably because I haven't eaten in a couple hours, but this is pretty bad.
Also because it melts your insides?
Hey, glad I don't have an ulcer like Dennis from that one episode of fucking Talk and Talk.
Don't worry, this will fix that. I get ulcers thinking about this shit. Let's see. Other shit. Oh, every time there's a finish, it's just Luke going, dude! Oh, dude! over and over again. They discussed who the easiest... Luke and Othello talked about who the easiest fighters to book for his show were. So, like, basically, like... Because Othello was the producer.
Cowboy, so, like, Michael Bisping?
No, it was a lot of guys like Bruce Buffer and...
Oh, I thought you said fighters that are easy to book for a show.
Oh, sorry. I did say fighters.
Yeah, that confused me.
I forget who the fighter they named was. It was somebody that's, like, just, like, would always just say yes no matter what. I know Bruce Buffer was another name that got thrown out. Oh, Guida. Guida was the guy who was like would always just say yeah and do that shit. Talk about Bisping's eye and how it's super fucked. Evidently 7-Eleven taquitos are legit.
I'll never know that. I don't think I'll ever be drunk enough or...
Evidently they're legit, according to these guys. Raphael talks...
Someone's got to eat them.
Yeah, Raphael talks about 2 fights he's had, and since he's 1-1 right now. Oh, cool. Which is kind of cool. They talked to him for a bit about that. Raphael also is I forgot. It's down here somewhere in my notes. I'll get to it. Othello talks about drunk texting Kung Lee recently.
That sounds kind of interesting in a way that it could be really weird.
Yep. Shit. Luke talks about how Matthew Lopez testifies in church when he gets knocked out. You know what that...
Oh, like he goes to confession by getting knocked out?
No, like when he gets knocked out, when Matthew Lopez gets knocked out, his hands go up and he falls back.
Oh, God.
And Luke Thomas calls it testifying in church, and then he explains it to everybody. It's fucking great. Which segues into finding out that Luke was born in India.
No, Armenia.
No,
right?
India.
Or no, India, but he is Armenian.
Yeah, his mom was an Armenian refugee in Syria. Yeah. And his siblings were born like fucking everywhere. Let's see. Luke just starts getting drunk and sounding really southern. Oh, he talks about how 97% of his YouTube stats are dudes. Yeah. Oh, shit. I forgot. Raphael is wearing a fucking Boondocks shirt the whole time. It's a fucking picture of the silhouette of the dude with the afro from the Boondocks.
Oh, Huey.
Yeah, it says, "I am the stone that the giver retrieved," or whatever it is.
The song. Yeah.
But it took me like half the show to figure it out, and then I was like, "Holy fuck!" Luke says he's rather Othello intentionally piss on his floor than spill Four Loko on it. They get super fucking slowed down by the Albini fight. And then, of course, Diego Sanchez, which we're going to play on this next break. When Diego Sanchez gets knocked the fuck out by Mac Brown, there was a weird clip
Mac Brown?
Yeah, Mac Brown, yo. Dog, you ain't heard him? He's got the dopest mixtape. Mac Brown.
Is that Mac from his Always Sunny other alter ego?
Yeah, he just shits himself and raps. He's the Gigi Allen of rap.
Okay.
Mac Brown. Jesus Christ. So Matt Brown, when he killed Diego Sanchez, Luke Thomas had the best reaction of all time during the way the production team fucked that up. So just a lot of like, "The fuck are you doing?" You'll hear it on one of the clips later, but I think on the next clip actually. But it fucking cracked me up. And then everyone on Twitter is telling Othello he's shit-faced, and Othello's telling everyone he's not. And then Luke just losing his shit during the Pettis fight. It's just Luke getting so hyped on fights, which you don't ever see from him. You always see, like, super composed, like, "Oh, hey, this is our feelings on it." Like, "Listen, this is an excellent card. They had a great performance. So-and-so did great." Whereas in this show, he's yelling things like, "I mean, who wants to do this for a living?" He went from having a triangle to getting body triangled. High hips wins, bitches. High hips wins.
Oh, yeah, because he was talking about the placement of his hips, and that's why kind of like, no matter where Pettis tried to move or escape or position his hips, he's going to fuck up his ribs or do something bad, right?
Oh, for sure. And I just
so locked in.
And I've just made an audible. I'm changing the clip of Luke Thomas you're hearing because I forgot this was a thing where he yells, "Fuck yeah, they're letting you go. Fuck yeah, doctor. Do no harm. In other words, do lots of harm. We don't give a shit." So, fucking Luke Thomas is drunk as shit on Four Loko and Jim Beams and Coke. It's fucking great. Luke does nail live while watching it. As soon as Pettis taps, he's like, "That's a rib injury." Like, fucking right away. It was super impressive. It just felt like hanging out, listening to fights or watching fights with Luke Thomas. It was fucking cool. I actually liked it way more than Joe Rogan's fight companion.
Yeah, the little that I watched of it, I liked it a lot.
It's super fucking funny.
It's interesting.
Like
because it kind of brings out the side of him that you sometimes hear when he's sarcastic with people. It's during a live chat.
Yeah.
Or like when because I almost expect next time he does, he's like, "Oh, you like Connor?"
Well, it's also like the kind of shit where, like, you hear Luke Thomas say shit like, "Oh, man, my favorite comedians are, like, fucking Dave Attell, Patrice O'Neal, like
Bill Hicks.
Just, like, Bill Burr, like, just fucking monsters who are all super dark and drink a shitload." Or Doug Stanhope, he mentioned. I'm like, dog, I think Luke Thomas, like, and me are secretly the same drunk. He's just the super legit military version of my lazy ass. So I just think that dude is hilarious and is exactly how you, if you're the kind of dude who when you listen to Luke Thomas you think like, yeah, he'd be fucking surprisingly fun to drink with. That's exactly how this show felt. So I highly recommend grabbing a Four Loko and giving it a listen. But any other ones you wanted to shout out?
No, that's it for me.
Me too, man. So we'll wrap this segment here. If you guys don't know, if this is for whatever reason your first time listening, we will go through and we will recap last week's UFC Norfolk card, and talk about how crazy that was. Then we'll get into UFC Sydney this weekend, Fight Night 121, I believe.
Yeah, 121 sounds right.
Which should be pretty wild, and I've got some fucking fighters on my Magwar League I'm pretty hyped on, so we'll wrap this segment here. You guys can listen to Luke Thomas fucking railing on some motherfuckers and just telling refs how they should get crazy, and we'll be right back.
They should have blood prints on the shorts instead of the chalk prints.
Yes.
Please don't stop this fight.
Somebody's writing that down right now because they saw that. Like, oh,
Please don't stop this fight.
Jesus, there's blood everywhere.
This is an excellent contest. This doctor's giving me the heebie-jeebies. Letting it go! Fuck yes! Fuck yes, doctor! First, do no harm. Or in other words, do lots of harm. But we don't give a shit. Huh?
Put him back in the triangle, though.
Let's see. Let's see.
I
Full
would be
guard.
arguing like a motherfucker right now because he was locking up a triangle.
All right, we are back. We are going to recap last week's UFC Fight Night 120 Dustin Poirier versus Anthony Pettis card, which was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, it was a good card all around. I really enjoyed it.
Me
Lots
too.
of good solid fights. I know we kind of said that before last week.
I mean, it's just good matchmaking. Like, although there was a lot of older names on the card, it was still
They
really
kinda all
fun
brought it.
matches.
Yeah, they all kind of they bring it, you know.
Well, mostly fun matches. I'm
Yeah.
looking at you, giant baby.
Diaper.
That fight-
You know what? You know what?
fight was kinda
We
rough.
call him Junior Albino. I'm just gonna call him Junior Rugrat.
I'm going Junior Big Baby Albini from now on.
Big baby, yeah.
Big baby. Oh, all right, so we'll start off at the top of the card. Dustin Poirier took out Anthony Pettis with a goddamn body triangle. Like a
I gotta
beast.
say, ever since he's moved up to lightweight, man, this guy has totally changed.
Look, dude, and he when you listen to his old interviews when he was at featherweight,
Has he always been at? He's at ATT, right? Yeah. Has he always been there? Or
long
no?
time. I don't know
Okay.
always, but a long time, like 8 years maybe. Well, a while now, and maybe 6 years. It's been a minute. Dustin also, I forget who. I think Luke mentioned he's a black belt too, which people sleep on.
In DJ?
Yeah,
Okay.
Which
Wow,
people
I didn't
sleep
know-
on.
I didn't know that either.
for sure. And yeah, he's a fucking beast.
Well,
man.
next time he ever fights Connor, he's just take him to the ground.
Well, dude, when he was cutting it to 150, 145, he would talk about like how he was eating like 3 grapes and a couple bites of
Yeah,
lettuce.
that's just no.
for
See, that's
a
just
day.
that's just not even ethical. You shouldn't ever do that to yourself.
No, and it shows because like he just didn't have nearly the energy down
That's
at that
probably
weight
why he
class.
got knocked out. Like
It also
Connor
it
hits
doesn't
hard,
hurt your
but-
chin.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help your chin. Yeah, it makes it way worse. So, pretty impressive
God, I
overall
hope he
with
fights
Pettis
Connor
fight.
again, dude. Whatever kind of fight it is.
Yeah, there was some crazy scrambles in this fight against Pettis. Just in the wrestling, and Pettis constantly going for triangles, and Poirier constantly avoiding him. Eventually, he was able to catch Pettis with the back, and Luke Thomas does an amazing breakdown on this on his Monday Morning Analyst show he put up on YouTube. I highly recommend checking specifically out the YouTube one. He talks about the broom sweep Anthony Pettis hits, but he also talks about the way Dustin Poirier is able to win every transition by just either having high hips or by high hips, motherfuckers, high hips, as he yells during the fight companion, but also just Poirier's constant ability to win every scramble, whether it be like just not getting stuck in positions, which really made a huge difference in this fight. The only thing that's kind of crazy about this fight is, so what do you think about that one stand-up? That is the controversial
They
one.
shouldn't have been stood up.
It's a bad
I
stand-up.
clearly saw him like fucking trying to transition on top.
So yeah,
Pettis
he had
was on
wrist
top.
control.
Yeah.
He had wrist control. He was looking for that triangle.
Yeah.
And then, to be fair to the ref, as the ref starts going in, that's when he slaps it on. But like, also you got as a ref, like you gotta.
Who was
It's bad timing.
Martin Leota, probably.
No, it was Keith Peterson. Which Keith Peterson's
Cody
really
Garbrandt.
good. Yeah.
Cody Garbrandt's dad.
I also have heard him called a member of the Trenchcoat Mafia recently.
Ooh,
I believe
that's
that was
a terrible nickname.
I think it was Luke Thomas gave
It's
him
a
that
very
one.
terrible nickname.
Yeah, I think Luke Thomas gave him that on the fight companion. But it's a bad stand up for sure. But I don't know if you can really blame him for it that bad.
I mean, yeah.
Because when he went in to stand him up, like Pettis was digging for it, but he wasn't getting anywhere with it. It just happened to be that like at the same time that he started to initiate that, it happened to be that Pettis locked that up. So it's a tough call for Keith Peterson. I mean, at that point, like you can't unstop the action. You know what I mean? But the restart was weird from restarting from guard.
Oh yeah, remember Pettis like moved towards the fence?
Yeah, and to be fair though, Pettis was so fucking cut up, like his eyes were just pools of blood. It was crazy. Cause
I remember Anik Florian Epo talking about, it's basically having paint in your eyes, and it's one of the more uncomfortable feelings you get have.
Well, and that's the thing too, is the fighters always talk about when you try and rub it out, but that's not how it works. It just kind of smears.
Yeah.
So like now you can't see, but it also is like ingrained in your eye, kind of thing. So it's gotta be super disorienting. I gotta imagine too.
Well, yeah, you said you see like a red film, like you're seeing through a blurry red lens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
which makes sense. I mean, think about having water in your eye. Now think about having Vaseline.
It's blood. Like I've never had blood in my eyes, but it probably kind of burns a little bit too.
I gotta imagine it's gonna be closer to Vaseline than water, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it can't be great. Although it's the kind of burn that I don't think you would notice at the time.
Yeah. It's not like a hurting burn.
Right, because of how crazy
it is.
No, even then, I don't know if you would feel shampoo in the shower. Like, say you were getting in the middle of a street fight and someone hit you in the eye with shampoo. I don't know if you. I don't know if you would recognize the fact that I think your adrenaline would be so high that you would just like wipe and keep moving.
He's like, what the fuck is
it would be
this?
uncomfortable and like itchy or whatever and fuck with your vision, but I don't know if it would sting.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because when your adrenaline spiked, you don't feel a shitload. Which I learned by standing on my Anderson Silva leg when I broke that shit skateboarding. We're like, I literally Anderson Silva'd myself under a van, went to stand on it, and then just fucking, I bent like a goddamn, I don't know what makes this shape.
You folded like a chair.
I did. I folded the center of my leg folded like, the center of my shin folded like a lawn chair. And I was like, well, I guess I shouldn't walk. Anyway, speaking of folding like a lawn chair, good God, Matt Brown killed a man on live TV.
That's one of the most brutal knockouts I've ever seen.
By far. And although we should say we didn't actually see it on live TV, we saw it on
because I always saw the replay.
Or in reverse.
Because I remember that now, I watched it, it was like this. It was just like, oh! And then all of a sudden it just went, and then he was just like that, and I was like, what the fuck? He just like skipped.
And I forgot to play or actually you guys, or no, I switched the Luke clip, I forgot. So maybe on the next part you guys will hear the Luke clip. I need to check what my other clip was. No, yeah, you guys are going to hear the Luke clip of what the fuck happened after this. Oh no, you know what? You're hearing Rogan's Everyone's a Bitch compared to Frankie Edgar. So yeah, I highly recommend going back and looking at the Luke Thomas episode.
Oh, and speaking of folding chairs...
Chris is just showing me fucking random knockout videos on Instagram now.
No, blame Dana White. Dana White's been posting the past day. He's like, respect old people week, and it's just videos of old guys. It's videos of younger people picking on the elderly, and the elderly just being like former boxing champs, evidently, based on the way they just handle it.
Dude, Dana White, be more of an old white Republican Dana White, ever.
Yeah, right?
Jesus Christ.
To Ted Nugent.
Well, to be fair, he's about to fly snow into his house in Vegas soon for winter, so. I mean, I don't know that he's doing that. He might actually be flying
I hope he's not that sociopathic.
Well, again, you mean, because you know he did that before. You didn't know this? Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I almost, skipped a breath. That's so sad.
Yeah, no, he flew in a driveway full of snow for his kids in the middle of a fucking...
Oh, wait, I forgot his kids.
Still, though.
But still, that's a little much.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Dad, can you maybe just take us to Colorado, which is just a little up north?
Not that far. No.
The best mountains in the country, arguably. I don't think I've been to I've never been to Colorado Rockies. I don't know what other mountain. I think Utah is the only really good place besides that rivals it, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, mountain facts, y'all. Chris got him. Anyway, we'll keep moving on.
Talking about for snowboarding, Shaka.
Oh, yeah, bro. I fucking do that Shaun White, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I just think of the movie
Luke
Wipeout.
Thomas style.
I just think of the movie Wipeout. No. Out Cold. With Zach Galifianakis, yeah, like the snowboarding movie.
Out Cold is good, but it's no Johnny Tsunami.
Oh, God. With his dad or grandpa's like the guy from Mortal Kombat who plays Shang Tsung.
Go big or go home, bro.
Oh, and it's like the rich, evil white guy is a skier, right? And he tries to sabotage him? Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Go big or go home, brah. Fucking Johnny Tsunami.
Disney Channel did have its moments.
Yo, Brink, dog? Don't even get me started about Brink.
Yeah.
I'll lose my goddamn mind right here on this podcast. You want to talk about rollerblading for 20 minutes?
Soul skaters, bro.
Dog, I'm Team Pup and Suds all goddamn
I gotta
day.
be my boy Val, Team X Blades.
What? Just dog.
I'm just kidding, not really.
You can go ahead and eat some worms, you know what I'm saying?
Throw a milkshake in my face that I'm allergic to.
We just made 18 of the best fucking references. Fuck yeah. Dog. My move. Alright, we'll keep moving on. Now that we're so off topic. Fucking Jesus Christ. Andre Arlovsky fought a giant man in a diaper.
God
it
damn
was
it, why
very
did he roll
long.
up his shorts?
I don't know, but I did hear on a podcast this week that evidently there is a Reebok check where they check that your clothing is fitting properly. Evidently, he did not do that move when they were doing that. Because, what the fuck? No one flagged that down, being like, no, you can't look like a giant baby in a diaper during this fight. We don't allow fucking John Waters films in the octagon. It's upsetting. John Waters, though, was definitely someone.
Dude, he looked like that. Fuck. It's that show like on BBC or something like Strange Addictions where like there's a guy who's like Stanley is an adult baby and it's a guy who dresses up like a baby and lives like a fucking baby.
Yeah.
Like what is that?
Well, there's a reason why they call him Big Baby Albini.
Yeah.
Or one person does. Cesar Montes Ferreira took on Nate Marquardt and barely got a split decision. That fight was close as shit.
That's one fight. I think there was like one fight I kind of accidentally missed, and I think that was it. Actually, yeah, that was.
It was super back and forth. Like not in any kind of big action way. But Nate Marquardt did mollywop him with an elbow at the very end of the fight in a way that like split his whole goddamn shit open. As Sean Dennis would say, he broke his whole shit. And if you want to win if you're gonna lose a split decision. You probably want to leave a giant mark on the dude's forehead like Nate Marquardt did. It was super impressive. But, yeah, it's one of those fights that's kind of how you thought that fight was going to go. It's like watching Sam Alvey fight. Or actually, it's exactly like Elias Theodorou and Dan Kelly. Like, there are two options for this fight. Either a giant overhand or a decision where they both kind of look at each other a lot. So,
dude, I love me some Australian Brett Favre though, Dan Kelly.
Yeah.
He looks like Brett Favre.
He's goddamn the best. I love Grandpa Dan Kelly.
I hope I added Elias Theodorou as my flex play for tomorrow, but Dan Kelly, I kind of want him to judo throw the fuck out of Elias Theodorou.
I think that's possible. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in the next segment, but
him and his old man, just like rigor and toughness will just be like, hey, can't get up.
Right. Also, we should mention we both had Poirier and Brown. Obviously, we both did not. We both had Albini because Andre Arlovsky is
decided
90,
to be alive.
But yeah, he came back. He must have re-rejuvenated his vampire
He's
ways.
like, oh, I am fighting Big Baby. I need to win.
Yeah, I get it. I eat babies. I beat Big Baby. It's simple. And then I had Cesar over Nate, which
I think I chose Nate.
To be fair, that could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I only had Cesar because Nate tends to lose decisions, and I thought I was probably going decision. And Cesar's just a little too athletic for him, I feel like, at this point. But Cesar could have gotten mollywopped in the face pretty easily. Speaking of mollywoppings, though, Rafael Sunsao goddamn murdered a man's leg. Okay,
this is the thing.
He tried to straight up take a man's leg off.
He tattooed the inside of Matthew Lopez's leg. That was really bad. How about this?
Aldo Faber bad.
You know how this bantamweight division's kind of up in the air because TJ wants to fight DJ? I want that to happen. Don't get me wrong. I really want that to happen. But as far as like who deserves a shot, I think still it should be Rivera versus someone, but don't leave Cruz out of it when he comes back because that's still kind of unfair too. I mean, I guess you could skip over Cruz
at this point if depending on if Rivera gets a fight.
Rivera either needs to fight a Sunsao or he needs to fight Moraes.
He's fought Sunsao before, right?
No.
Really? They haven't fought?
No, I don't think so.
I could have sworn they fought. Who am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking Aljo.
No, because Aljo's never fought Rivera. They just have beef.
No, Aljo fought Sunsao.
Oh, yeah.
It's like similar style, like high pressure wrestling dude. Although Rivera obviously has way sharper boxing. Yeah, you're right. They need to fight. That's the fight to make.
Yeah, it has to be Rivera Sansao.
100%.
It has to be 100%. You just can't not do that.
Yeah,
I know
that's a great
Marlon
fight.
Moraes, which I'll just say spoiler, he called out Jimmy Rivera, but for now, Sansao needs to fight Rivera. It needs to happen. Cody Garbrandt apparently is actually out for a while because he's getting surgery on his back. I think someone
Cody
said
is.
I think he's gone for a while. That. Yeah, because I think that's why he announced on his social media, I'm going to be gone for a good while.
That's
just
good.
He said because he anticipates having his child with his wife and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
he's going to take time off,
dude,
which makes sense. And he's only 26, dude. Like,
yeah, dude has plenty of time, and recovery is a good thing at this point.
And he already won the belt, so I mean, technically, all you can do is go back up.
Well, and he's had a lot of injuries, so like taking time off is not a terrible idea as long as it's not like 2 years or anything crazy. Like, I wouldn't suggest GSP style time off, but then again, Dominic Cruz says ring rust isn't real. As he
came back from 4 years ago with the belt.
Yeah, as he texted Joe Rogan after the GSP fight. And Rogan said on this podcast, he's like, I got a text from Dominic Cruz after the GSP fight saying ring rust isn't real.
That proves it, if anything, because fucking GSP won at 185. So there you goddamn
Kind of crazy. But Michael Bisping was icing his ribs on fight week. So that should be taken into account.
So this fight, Sansao, I'll just say, fantastic performance by him. Got that gnarly knockout.
That knockout was nasty. He just never saw that right hand coming.
And I do respect the fact that he was just like this.
And killed him with the right.
And then just like...
Yeah, stopped on the hammer fist just before it happened. But yeah, he went with that left, and dude ducked, and he smashed him with the right. He never saw it coming, and it absolutely crumpled him. Super impressive finish. And speaking of impressive finishes, God motherfucking damn,
Guess how many points Joe Lozon got me on fantasy?
How many?
0.75.
I tried to tell you Clay Guida. Let's go ahead and take a look at our old picks.
I didn't listen.
I had Clay Guida. So I just didn't. The thing was I thought Lozon could win this early with like an elbow or something weird. Or like a submission, or like a guillotine or something weird in the first like half of the first round. But anything after that is all Clay Guida, especially just because of cardio. Because Joe Lozon faced so hard. Unfortunately, Clay Guida comes out and just smashes Joe Lozon in the fucking face and finishes him. And Conor Rebush and Pat Wyman, I believe, on Heavy Hands were the guys who pointed out that like. If you go back and rewatch that tape, it's bad for Lozon because he sees the punch coming, he just doesn't move, which is like that's when it starts getting real scary for your career. Where like you can see his eyes follow it, but his head's just not. It's just not getting out of the way. He's just looking at the incoming doom, and it was it an uppercut? I want to say.
Yeah, I think he uppercutted the
I believe
fuck out of him.
Forehead. Yeah, he like. Fucking ducked straight into a killer uppercut. And man, Clay Guida's gotten like people sleep on Clay Guida because he is real good at getting decisions and he bounces around a lot and is kind of goofy.
He does, kind of do that.
And he'll wrestle fuck the shit out of you if he knows you have terrible wrestling and not good enough jiu-jitsu to finish him. But his boxing has got people sleep on it because he's been an alpha male. I remember
someone talked about the way before that he used to just train with his dad.
Well, that's the thing, and his
dad
brother
trained him, and his brother, and now he's alpha male. It's like you're actually
alpha male is.
I kind of actually think you're seeing prime Guida.
It's hard to argue that you're not, man. Like this is his first finish since 2013,
2011.
Was it 2011?
2011.
I know it's been a long time, so. Yeah, super impressive with Guida, and I actually would like.
I look forward to put him against a top 15er. Fringe 15, Fringe 15. I don't know.
Yeah, that weight class is crazy.
Yeah.
I would have to see
featherweights, right? Or they're lightweights.
No, they're light.
They're lightweights. Yeah, he's not featherweight.
I would have to see who's just outside top 15. Is probably who I'd put him against because like, there's that first 15 in lightweight is fucking crazy. Like I think Nate Diaz is like.
He's number 6, I think.
Well, he used to be like 11 or whatever. Michael Johnson's like 12, and you don't give Clay Guida.
No, he would murder Clay Guida.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, maybe not. But not, like, that's not the.
Well, his hand speed though is kind of.
You don't go from fucking
Joe Lozon
to Michael Johnson.
Number 15 Number 15 is Evan Dunham. That'd be a good fight.
Yeah, they must have fought before, right? Like, Clay's one of those guys who's been around for so long and fought so many people. He's got to have fought Evan Dunham before. Maybe? No. He hasn't. Yeah, you nailed it. It's Evan Dunham is the fight to make. Who's 14?
James Vick, who would probably murder.
No.
Way too big.
Yeah, give him Evan Dunham or whoever's just below Evan Dunham. That's the fight to make.
Yeah, I didn't say who 16 is. I know there is an official website, right? It lists like the top 50. I can't remember. I remember you showed me a long time ago.
I mean, official.
Well,
like,
under
not
who?
official
under who?
UFC.
Yeah, under who.
I believe it's UFCrankings.com or something like that. Anyway, very impressive performance from Clay Guida, and I'm very hyped on him. Marlon Moraes squeaked by on a split decision.
I give it to him. I could see why he were mad, but I give it to him based on takedowns.
Yeah.
He had a really good third round.
Well, and Dodson is, like, while Dodson has pop, it never really phased Moraes at all.
Like, he dropped him, like, I think twice total, but dude, Moraes popped right back up. Like,
well, and that's just, like, also Moraes is, like, has a little bit of Gaethje in him.
I noticed that.
He's just kind of a brawler, so, like, while he will get clipped, he's good at recovery, and, like, I don't know. This is a really close fight. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it to honestly score it, because at the time I was drinking and I'm not positive. I could have seen it going either way. I lean Marlon Moraes. That's because I like Marlon Moraes. I like John Dodson too, but I believe I had Marlon in my picks. I did. And it was announced. Was this the one that was announced as a draw?
And they fixed it?
I believe.
No, that was a different one. That was the Roberson Stewart. That was Roberson Stewart.
You're right.
That's Roberson Stewart. Yep.
You're right. But yeah, it was. No. Wait. Oh, you're right. The first fight was announced. You're right.
That's what I missed because right when I turned it on, it's like, and the judges blah blah blah. And
it was terrible.
Like,
and Luke Thomas is dying laughing on Twitter.
He's laughing.
He's like, "Fucking Virginia Commission can't add for shit."
Oh yeah.
Good luck making him do any kind of arithmetic, motherfuckers. Like, it's hilarious. So, yeah, I like Marlon Moraes and John Dodson both a bunch, and they're both fucking killers. I would like to see both of them stop fighting, like. I don't want to see... Marlon Moraes has not gotten one fucking fun fight in the UFC yet. And they should really give it to him. It's good that he got a win, because they might have even cut him if he lost again. Because he's, what, 0-2?
Who?
Moraes? Or is
this
he 1-1?
was his only second fight, dude. And his first
Really?
fight was against the Sunsao. A split decision. It was a really close fight against the Sunsao, right? Split, yeah.
Oh, you're right.
No, it was a boring fight, but it was close.
Yeah. So, like, the thing is like, man, you're really doing yourself and Moraes a disservice by not giving him someone in, like, the bottom half of the top 10 and throwing him constantly with, like, the killers in the top 10. Like, there are some fun fights of, like, dudes like, I don't know, is Eric Montano in the 35? Like, who's in 30? Like, there's some 35ers towards the bottom of the top 15 that Marlon Moraes could straight style on.
Oh, Johnny Eduardo, Matt Lopez.
Yes. Any of these dudes.
Murdered.
Any of these dudes.
I just really, wait, why the fuck did Matt Lopez even fight a Sunsao? That's retarded.
Those might be updated.
Oh, Matt Lowe's probably like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Rob Font's 13.
Right, like
Eddie,
Rob
this is
Font.
how is Eddie Wineland still in the rankings? Like, I know
Right, like Eddie Wineland. Holy fuck. How do you
he's
not...
been around since like 2006,
Marlon
7.
Moraes. I love Eddie Wineland and Marlon Moraes. They would put on an awesome fucking fight.
Yeah.
Like
Pedro Munoz, the young
and that's
Punisher,
winnable for both dudes. Like Eddie Wineland.
Thomas Almeida. I feel like Moraes would style on Almeida. I feel like he'd style on
what
Almeida.
rank is he right
He's
now?
He's 10.
Where's Almeida? I mean, where's what's his face? Moraes at this point.
Moraes is at 7. What's funny? I said to Trevor Rocha, you notice it's John the Magician Dodson versus Marlon Magic Moraes.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's fucking Siegfried and Roy fighting.
Yeah.
Except without the tiger.
Yeah, then you got Dodson at 9, Aljamain at 8, Marlon's at 7, and of course, which this is the worst ranking, the whole entire bantamweight, Brian Scaraway fucking some hookers in Vietnam after breaking up with Misha Tate last year.
He's
and
back.
He is just AWOL. I mean, yeah.
No, he's fighting. He has a match lined up, right?
He's a fight?
Pretty sure he has a fight lined up. Pretty sure Caraway has something lined up.
Shit.
So I thought I was fading him on something. I don't remember what though.
Wow.
Here, wait, let me.
Wow.
I might be wrong though. I thought he had a fight lined up though. Fucking
oh my fucking god. That does help get rid of bad breath though, if you chew on it.
I'm sure.
Let's find out.
Yeah, Luke Sanders. Fight Night 123 in like December 9th. Like a couple weeks.
Wow, dude, Oh, I remember that guy from Tough.
Yeah, it was a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
That
guy was a badass.
Lost to Yuri Alcantara, went over Maximo Blanco and Terry Ware.
Yeah, Maximum White.
Terry Ware's a big win too.
Okay.
That'll be a fun fight. Anyway, we'll get back on topic, but yeah, I'd like to see Marlon have a fun matchup. Like a matchup where they're not going to give him a tough
So Almeida's the thing to be, right? Because Sean Shelby's not going to give him the title, or not going to give him Rivera fight.
No.
Who should Rivera fight realistically? No, I don't think he should get a title shot. No, let TJ fight DJ. Like, come on.
A Sun Sao.
Yeah, Sun Sao.
Should be a Sun Sao and
yeah,
Rivera
like we were saying.
for sure.
It has to be.
I think that's the perfect fight to make because you make a killer out of one of those.
I know John Lineker's like, I want to fight Jimmy Rivera. It's like, hold your horses, motherfucker. You barely beat Cheeto, and Cheeto's game as fuck.
Yeah. Also, John Lineker and Marlon Moraes already fought, didn't they?
No, because remember Marlon Moraes.
Cheeto. He fought Cheeto.
Yeah.
I confuse Cheeto and Marlon all the fucking time.
Well, because Cheeto's name is Marlon. Yeah, Marlon Vera.
Yeah. Yeah, I do it a lot. But Marlon Cheeto would be fun as shit.
That'd be a good one.
Not Marlon Cheeto. Marlon Lineker.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's a fun style matchup. And that's a one where they can both just fucking throw bombs. Like, Marlon does not have to worry about a takedown, so he can just fucking throw heat.
What's funny is I just realized Rafael Sunsao has a very interesting sounding accent. He almost sounds American when he speaks English. He's like, guys.
His English
like,
gotten so good.
Yeah, I was like, thanks, crazy. Guys, for the support and everything.
Yeah,
he started to
sound like Brendan Schaub a little bit with a Brazilian accent.
I was like, damn, this dude knows English like a motherfucker. I'm like, hell yeah. I remember I was listening. I was like, oh, shit. Or he's like, thanks, guys. Like, yeah, I think I won this round to this round. I got Mount, and he was like being all specific and shit like that.
Yeah,
oh, fuck yeah.
I would love to hear more.
So clearly he trains here. I forgot what his camp is. He has to.
I want to say ATT.
Where the fuck does he train?
I want to say ATT.
He's got to train in the States, or he's just smart.
No, Ascension, wherever the fuck that is, or at least according to Sherdog.
I don't know.
But that could just be like some. I don't know what Ascension is.
Well, all I gotta say is, as Doc Holliday said,
that's just the name of his gym. That's not like.
As Doc Holliday said in Tombstone, evidently, Rafael Sunsao was an educated man.
Evidently. Tatiana Suarez. Wrestlers fucked the shit out of Vivian Pereira.
Way off.
I mean, to be fair.
Yeah.
This was a big step up for Tatiana Suarez, and she showed the fuck up. And Viviane Pereira.
I think they gave a lot of credit to her camp too.
Yeah, well, and Viviane Pereira, I thought would do better at stuffing the takedowns, which, man, not so much. But impressive performance.
Very, very impressive victory for Tatiana Suarez. Kind of backs herself up, and like people were like, "Oh, you won tough. It doesn't matter. You're a wrestler." Now they could say, "Oh, motherfucker."
She also looked way better than she did in her last.
Oh, dude, she actually knew how to throw a jab.
And she's out of ATT too, right? No, Millennia. Who the fuck is at Millennia? Anybody see off the top of my head? I mean, I know there's some people at Millennia. There's a big old list, and I don't have time to go through it, but. Whatever she's doing well. I was super impressed. And it easily puts her in talk for top 15 contention, at least. Speaking of impressive performances, Sage motherfucking Northcutt showed up.
Performances. Team Alpha Male's been killing it as far as helping fighters, man. Dude, he looked way more confident.
Alpha Male is a motherfucker of a gym.
That fucking just the spinning back kick or side kick. What is it? Is it a side kick or no? It is a back kick, right? That he kept landing in his stomach.
I don't know the difference.
Hard. I don't know the terminology of karate or.
I don't.
But whatever he was landing, where he spins and just goes like it's like the Stephen Thompson.
You're not talking the stepping side kick. You're talking.
It's the one where he's just like this, and he just spins around real quick and just kicks him in the stomach.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's just.
But Stephen Thompson does it the best, but Sage does it really well for lightweights.
Yeah, I believe.
Hell, McGregor does it well too. To be fair.
Well, they all throw it different though.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is I don't know if it's.
Oh no! You're right. McGregor's stepping because I remember McGregor goes like this with his karate stance, and he'll just go like that, or some shit.
Well, no, but I don't remember if it's a side kick or a back kick though, because it's different how you throw it. One's more karate based, the other one's more...
I gotta play more UFC.
Yeah, well, not even that. You need to just talk to motherfuckers who are like 90 and who practice traditional martial arts. Because one I believe is thrown with as more of a taekwondo kick.
Like Pettis' delivery.
Right, or the other one's more of a karate, like straight line kind of...
It's like Lyoto. I know he does it real well. He's a karate guy.
Or like...
Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy, yeah. But I'm, again, not at all versed in traditional martial arts, apart from, fucking Wang Chung or, whatever weird bullshit.
Wang Chung, the
I
fucking
forget what
artist.
I forget what my brother used to do. My brother used to do, some...
That's what Tony Ferguson makes fun of when he's in Big Bear. He's like this.
Yeah. With the fucking...
Yip Man.
With the fucking... Yeah, with the fucking... It's a lot of that bullshit.
It's all countering pairing. That's all that martial art is.
Wrestling, boxing, and Muay Thai, dog.
And then they have the thing, like that stick figure where they're like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Jet Li does that too. And it's like.
Oh yeah, dog. I've seen the kickboxer. For sure. Which, speaking of which, oh wait, no, I forgot our artwork this week is going to be a Four Loko, an empty pouch of the fucking mix, and this mic. So you guys will get to see exactly our recording setup.
Oh yeah, and for the artwork last week, if you're confused as to who I was, I think we stated I'm the dude.
Oh yeah, you're the dude in the blue mustache in the background.
Yeah, I'm the Asian guy with the blue mustache.
Definitely not.
No, I'm the only guy who's smiling in the picture, actually.
Yeah, and you're the guy near Jeremy.
Yeah.
Who also looks super confused in the picture. I love that Jeremy looks like, what? Like,
to be fair, I remember I told my buddy Evan and Darren, I'm like, dude, he's going to do the fighter pose or like this, look. And of course.
Yeah, well, it's either the finger or the fist.
Fist, yeah.
But he didn't do the fist, which I respect. The finger is fine. I mean...
It's less painful.
Yeah. Well, at least none of you guys did the fucking fist. That's the worst.
I wasn't dumb enough to do that.
I'm always terrified that when I take, if I take a picture with a fighter, that I do that just out of, bad instinct.
You need to defend yourself.
Just mirroring what they do. You know what I mean? Because, if someone did a fucking dumb hand sign next to me in a picture, I would just... Yeah, I'm throwing up West Side right now. But, I would just throw up whatever dumb shit they throw up, so...
Honestly, I would just do this.
I know you would, because you're all about that fucking... What is that called, by the way?
All of it, dude. I know you're 2 years older than me, I think, but the circle game in high school and middle school.
Is that what it's called?
It's a major look. Remember that? Or hey, bro, what's that over there? And
it's the thing where you do that.
They'd say fag. You look at your dick. You put it on your balls.
Right, because it was the early 2000s, 90s.
Yeah, no, it's coming back because of Europeans. Remember I told you I was in the Netherlands. Yeah. This guy, coolest guy I met. He was fucking really cool guy.
8 times on Facebook.
He was like this. He was like, bro, I got some vodka. I'm like, what? And he was like this, the whole time.
So we should mention it's that a-hole sign.
It's the okay sign.
Yeah.
It's the okay
that's
sign.
The way to
That's
say
it. It's the okay sign.
Where you connect your ring finger and your thumb.
That's it.
I mean
it's
your index finger and your thumb. Yeah. You do the okay.
Yeah, this is Twist of Fate, Matt Hardy, WWE ring finger.
But you do it below the waist, and then you get to hit.
Or you can do it anywhere you want. You just have to make them look at it. You hey bro, what's that over here on the wall?
And then you call him gay and hit him.
Or you don't even call him that. You just hit him.
Oh, is that?
Yeah. No,
I guess my friends are ultra fucked up. Shouts out to people we've had on the podcast.
Yeah, see, I said this to my brother, and he said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, that's a fucked up one. You also said
the one that Ali one. That's the
yeah.
greatest one I've ever seen.
The Muhammad Ali one's pretty good. All right, we'll keep moving on. Nina Ansaroff fought Angela Hill in a great fucking fight, man.
Dude, this guy was sick.
Yeah. First off, Angela Hill was almost our artwork this week with her hilarious kickboxer post that she put before weigh-ins about how she's going to make her bleed like Mai Ling or whatever.
Mai Li.
Mai Li, yeah. It's so good. I was going to use it as our post, but since we have so many trash drinks that we're drinking, I feel like that's more appropriate, so we'll put that up instead. But man, super impressive performance. Nina Ansaroff barely stole this in the third round. I feel like it was 1-1 for sure going in. Like Angela Hill definitely took that first round, right?
Yeah, she took the first round, and then Ansaroff just kind of poured it on.
And she just kept winning the clinch exchanges. I feel like, or I should say the transitions between the like distances. Like Nina, I feel like did a lot better job of when it got of crashing the distance and then making use of that space and then getting either all the way in or all the way out of range of Angela Hill. Where Angela Hill couldn't stay on the outside and Dominic Cruz footwork the shit out of her.
Sometimes her footwork was so crisp too. I'm just kind of getting the angle.
But the thing is, like, she has trouble keeping that pace for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And in 5 rounds,
noticeable.
While I've seen her like kill it in 5 rounds in Invicta, she also that was a scrappy fucking fight against Livia Hinata Souza. So impressive performance though. I feel like a lot of people who were sleeping on Angela Hill previously and were not giving her enough credit or came around in this fight where they were like, I feel like a lot of people kind of thought Nina was gonna run through this a bit, and Angela clearly showed everybody that, what the fuck? That's a really close matchup.
Because we both thought, too. Nina,
if you ran that back 10 times, I think Angela would take it at least 3 or 4, if not more.
Yeah, I'd probably say 5 and 5.
Well, especially since I think Angela would win more of those the more times they fought.
Yeah. But either way, Ansaroff, of course, she has the convenience of fighting against a champion. Her training. I don't know. I mean, she probably does spar against her girlfriend.
Yeah, she talked about how
they probably go hard, dude.
Her mindset has changed a lot after working with Amanda.
And she's at ATT too, man. I mean, fuck.
Dude, that's the thing, man. You can't sleep. Don't sleep on Dean Thomas. Everybody's sleeping on Dean Thomas, just like when he was in the UFC. I don't know what's wrong with everyone and their opinion of Dean Thomas. That motherfucker, number one, they owe him a belt. Still. The only reason he doesn't have a belt is because the fucking UFC abandoned the division when he should have gotten the belt.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, he's the head coach of some of the most successful women's MMA fighters of all time. He's completely revolutionized a number of dudes' games especially dudes like Tyron Woodley in the fucking mental side of it. Like, Dean Thomas is so responsible for how much of a turnaround, especially game plan wise, fighters are making. Like, everyone sleeps on the amount of tape study that motherfucker does. Guys like Ben Askren were hiring him out just to do tape study so that they could, I'd be like, hey, Dean, what do you think of, this dude's tape? Give me some pointers.
I remember I
mentioned
this before. I call him, you know how in other sports, generally you should watch tape, of the opposing team. Or, I mean, you
different, but yeah.
It depends what sport. But Tony Gwynn, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, Padres legend, right? He was so infamous or just known for just always studying the tape of any fucking opposing pitcher he would play against. It's why I remember, I know you've probably watched some baseball to know these pitchers' names, but the legendary pitchers in the 90s, Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, Tom Glavine, Pedro Martinez, and Randy John, he against those 5 or 6 guys.
He ate all of them.
Oh no, he was he hit 340. That's godly. That's insane.
Not only that, but
that's chaos.
He also ate their babies. He was so fat.
Yeah, and he had too much dip. I mean, God rest his soul.
I forgot he used to do dip.
That's how he died. He got mouth cancer.
Oh man!
And that's why ever since then, after he got that,
I almost made a Junior Seau reference. I bailed on it.
The MLB banned dip.
Really?
Yeah, you can't do dip.
Dude, everyone loved Tony Gwynn.
Actually, you know what? No. It's not banned in MLB. It's just you're a piece of shit if you do it.
Yeah.
Come on.
But everyone loved Tony Gwynn in this city. There was a real
I remember I met him when he was a head coach at State. Yeah. Dude, he's the fucking coolest guy ever.
Super nice. I met him
and he loved beer. That's $3.94 is literally his beer idea.
Yeah. And shouts out to Ale Smith if you guys don't know what Chris is talking about. He has his Ale Smith.
But either way, back to that. I consider Dean Thomas the Tony Gwynn of film study for MMA. That dude's always.
He's got to be up there. Him, Greg Jackson. And
I know Bang
Matt
watches
Hume,
a lot of film.
Bang watches a lot of film. Yeah, those
that
dudes.
Dude seems like he'll just take a
those are the
just
dudes.
Be super hyper.
No, he smokes a lot of weed. He's talking about.
Actually, that makes more sense because he's not really hyper attentive.
No, he just smokes a shitload of weed, and he gets super into film footage, which I feel you. I feel you, bro.
I mean, just to be fair,
I don't do different things.
Hey, he's in Denver.
Yeah. Also,
they're on another level now. They have injections, as Joe Rogan shared on. And you could get marijuana in a fucking needle, which I don't like needles, so that's not for me. But yeah, they're changing the game.
Yeah, all about that needle wanna.
No, then wait, dude, that joke makes sense now. I
What?
injected the whole marijuana.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense
Yeah.
now. God damn it. It came full circle, man.
That's right.
That's some foreshadowing right there.
Some notes on the early Fight Pass prelims. Sean Strickland and Court McGee fought.
Oh, I didn't see this fight, actually.
I
just blindly picked Sean Strickland.
I watched all of it. I don't remember any of it.
Moving on.
Evidently,
Jake
what I remember
kidding.
while watching it is being like, oh boy, this is gonna be one of those Court McGee fights, huh?
Actually, I didn't watch the first 3 fights. I think about it.
I don't remember them. To be
Oh,
honest.
I remember because I was.
I remember 14.
I was
having
watching
trouble with the
Hulu
wrestling.
and I set my alarm on my phone to Angie Hill's fighting at this time at 5. So
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the first 3 fights. I know that's mean, but
Yeah. And Carl Robertson.
Originally it was split, right? And they gave him Unani.
No, wait, it couldn't have been Carl Robertson because he got a.
Oh,
fucking
it was this
choke.
one then. Collier had to
Yeah.
have been this one.
I think it was Collier.
It was Collier.
for
They
two,
gave
yeah.
him split, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
No, he got unanimous.
No, but they overturned it officially. They overturned
right,
it.
because
They
it was
overturned
originally-
it split.
No, it was originally a draw.
Oh, and then they.
And they overturned
I
it.
mean, the judge like, I fucked up.
I believe it was that fight. I am not positive because I don't. I knew it was. It was fucking 9 days ago or however long. What 8 days? No, 6 days ago. It was forever ago. 800 things have happened. So I don't know. That's where we'll wrap this one. We will be back with our next segment where we will talk about the UFC Fight Night 121 Sydney card, which I'm actually super fucking hyped for just a couple of these fights. Some of them not so much, but goddamn Tai Tuivasa, as we've been hyping up on the Twitter. If you guys haven't seen, shouts out to Tai Tuivasa for Bam Bam for retweeting us, because that dude's cool as shit, and I love his podcast, The Halfcast, with Tyson Pedro. All I want is for those motherfuckers to drink some beers and record a podcast after his next fight, because that will be the dopest. But you can see him killing a man with an elbow on our Twitter. And we'll be right back. I'm going to play a clip of something. This is Joe Rogan talking about... Chris, do you remember?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I've got
Boomerangs?
it. No, it wasn't Boomerangs. I've got notes on it right here. It was... that's right, Chris. Everyone is a bitch compared to Frankie Edgar.
Oh, yeah. If that's the benchmark, then
Then everyone's a bitch. So we'll go ahead and wrap this segment here. We'll be right back. 800-hour podcast. Call us the Fort Week.
There's a bunch of people that were talking shit online. I was watching one of his Instagram pictures. There was a video that he made. A bunch of people were calling him a bitch, pulling out of the fight. Like, these fucking kids. Like, out of all the people to call a bitch, Frankie Edgar is one of the biggest studs that's ever fought in MMA. That guy's an animal. He's like one of the most durable, tough, and like mentally strong guys in the sport. So when someone calls him a bitch, it's actually hilarious. It's like you read that, you're like, that is one of the craziest fucking things anybody could ever say. You called Frankie Edgar a bitch? Like, that doesn't even make any, that's preposterous. That's like saying Joey Diaz is a hot chick or something. It's just, what are you saying? Doesn't even make any sense.
All right, we are back. That was a clip of Joe Rogan telling everyone how you're all a bitch compared to Frankie Edgar, if that is the fucking bar you're going to use. And before we even get into our breakdown of this UFC Fight Night 121 in Sydney, what's the main event? Fabricio Werdum versus Marcin Tybura. Chris, you said there's breaking news, and I've been waiting for you to tell me. So what is it?
Yes. So, Aljamain Sterling was set to fight Hani Yahya at UFC Fresno.
Right.
Hani Yahya is now out. In comes Marlon Moraes
Oh, Marlon Moraes
versus Aljamain Sterling. at UFC Fresno.
That's a fun
and
fight.
And another breaking news, well, this was actually known a couple days ago, we just didn't know her opponent. Kat Zingano is back at UFC 222 against Ketlin Vieira.
Interesting.
It's just be interesting.
Interesting. Who did Ketlin just fight?
Wait.
Did she fight last weekend?
Oh, wait. Ketlin beat someone.
I just saw Ketlin's name in something. Right? Oh, no, wait. I just heard Ketlin on, was it? No, I'm thinking Caitlin Chukagian. Oh, Ketlin was rumored to be up against JDR. Jermaine Durandamy.
Oh, yeah, but Jermaine Durandamy, like, her hand?
Evidently still hurt or something.
Yeah.
She's also a cop, so, like, I think, like, she might have to just sometimes...
Dude, it's crazy. I didn't even notice. Kat Zingano's only fought 2 times in 3 years.
It's crazy. But she's fucking killed girls lately.
Yeah.
Like, her last fight, like, she
and she's had a lot of tragedy and a lot of shit she's had to deal with, so...
Yeah. Well, and she's been in Alliance.
Yeah.
Which is a good
gem
for...
Yeah, I interviewed. She was cool. She was one of the coolest fucking people I've ever met.
That's right. Chris is still going to give us someday that audio so that we can post it on the website.
Oh, I never did that, huh?
No, you didn't.
Oh, dude, I have to do that now.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Well, you know what? Chris, you guys will send me the audio this weekend, and we'll make it happen. You still have
just
it?
call it, like, the Lost Files. And
we actually have a segment of our website that's already dedicated to that. Also, I need to mention, I have officially added the Libsyn player for all of the past audio episodes on our website as well. So, if because I know the built-in player for...
Yeah, I actually have it on my phone right here.
Yeah,
10 minutes long.
So I know the built-in player for our website was a little slow, so I made sure to embed all of the Libsyn ones, which are a bit quicker and are higher quality, I would assume, streaming-wise. And then also, I have gone ahead and added a search function to our website. So now if you go to our website, and Chris, this is more helpful for you and me probably than for the audience, but it might be helpful for the audience as well. If you're ever wondering if we covered an episode of a podcast or if we've ever talked about a podcast, all you have to do is search one of the words in the podcast name on our website, and it'll show up with all the results. So, like, say you search Knuckle Up, you're like, have they talked about Eugene's show Knuckle Up? You search Knuckle, or you search Knuckle Up in our on this by hitting the search button on the navigation. And you can check that out now, which is super helpful for guys like you and me who, when we're looking whether or not we've covered a show yet or not, and whether it's a new show, you just hit the search button and we can make that happen. So I added that.
I just officially sent you the interview I had with her, which was back in March early this year.
Perfect. So we will have that on the website. If you click on the articles tab up at the top in the navigation menu, we'll have it there. And I'll also link it in this episode. But... cool. I know you guys talked about it or heard us talk about it like forever ago, but
probably like 6 months ago.
Well, literally March. 7
months, probably 7.5, 8 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be cool for you. I haven't heard it yet, so I'm excited to listen to it. Honestly, so we'll have an article on that, and you know what? I'll actually post Chris's article too if he gives me permission. We'll see.
Yeah.
On the same link, so you guys can find it on the website. So now that we've gotten past that, which seems, which I'm kind of hyped on, I'm not going to lie, I still haven't heard that interview. So what we really need is a Chris Stanley interview. That's what we need on this show. I don't care about getting anyone on this show but Chris Stanley and Angie Hill. Those are the only 2 people I want on the show. You know what? Maybe just San Diego people. Maybe that should be our role. We only cover
It'd be kind of cool though too.
Yeah.
We should get Jesse Taylor.
Chris, this is why.
I'm kidding.
This is why we can't have nice things. Because you're
like, what's up, guys?
You're trying not to force me to shit. You're trying to force me to not shit on fighters. I'm trying real hard, but good God, man. Anyway, so I'm gonna use that segue to get into a fighter I am not at all upset at, and I'm a big fan of. UFC Fight Night 121, Werdum versus Tybura. The boomerang wielder himself taking on
Fabricio the Boomerang Werdum.
I do like that nickname.
And you know what? I already saw him jealous, man. I gotta ask the mods on Reddit. I already see Team Boomerang.
Ooh, I also like the phrase the Boomer Doom. Fabricio Boomer Doom.
Did you see he's actually being summoned to court in December? So have fun with that.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna work out well.
Yeah,
also,
because it's in Australia.
No, but also he's friends with the dictator in Chechnya.
Yeah.
So I feel like he has the good enough lawyers to be able to fix that problem.
Okay.
Also, his manager is Ali, who will pay for that problem to go away. No.
And Ali will want to fight Colby.
That's right. And also, Ali has called everyone a racist term already. I don't know if that's true. I'm straight up slandering Ali. Because he's not my favorite. So, anyway, way back on topic.
He's still on FBI's most wanted list.
Is he?
Probably not. I'm just kidding.
He might very well
might
be.
be, though.
To be fair, I haven't checked lately. But he definitely was at one point. And he's definitely not like...
Back in 2004, like during the Olympics.
But he also isn't like...
Because he's trying to make the Olympics.
Anyway, this is not the ghetto ass Ali hour, so we're gonna move on. But we'll talk about I always fuck up his last name.
Tuivasa.
Bam Bam beat
Bam
taking
Bam
on Rashad
versus
Coulter.
Blade.
That's right. So Bam Bam, if you guys don't know, has a 5-1 record or 5-0 record. Although he does have more fights than are listed on his record. He has like 7 or 8 fights, some of which you can see online. That's just not the full thing. So he's more like 7-1 or 6-1, something like that. Because there is a video of him getting fucking kind of crushed a little bit.
Yikes.
Well, no, to be fair, it was a war, and then he just got clipped super bad, and the ref called it. But Ty is one of these guys who just basically comes out and will get into a slobber knocker with you right away. But he has gotten in way better shape over the last couple fights. Especially if you see like his first couple fights, and you watch his most recent fight.
He kind of wasn't like probably in that fighter shape right away, right?
Well, his first couple fights were just kind of fucking...
Or just not comfortable with his own fighter shape.
No, he was a fat kid. And then he dropped weight through training.
No, that's what I mean. Like he wasn't like in his prime fighting shape. Fighters mold themselves to their liking, right?
I wouldn't even say he wasn't in prime fighter shape. He looked like Roy Nelson, and now he looks like...
Because, dude, it's kind of crazy.
Now he looks like Tyson Pedro.
I think it was Joe Rogan. Roy Nelson, if he lost weight, he's a 205er.
He's an 85er.
Wait, how tall is he?
9.
Oh, he's short.
He's my height.
Oh, shit, that's weird.
Yeah. Or he might be 5'10", maybe.
I think he's 5'10",
but still, that's I'm really also short. That's
like
there.
DC, that's really short.
That's like
hell, DC could be. Well, he's kind of wider, so he could be a natural one. No, he could make 185. Right. Yeah, what the fuck am I talking? He could make 205 now. Easy at 185. What the fuck am I talking about?
Me and Roy Nelson have a similar build, except for the arms. That's about the only difference. That and the hair.
Shit.
But it's not it's impressive depending on how much you like fat guys. Shouts out to my girlfriend. So we will go ahead and talk about Tai Tuivasa, Bam Bam, taking on Rashad Coulter. Which way are you leaning on this one? It's an interesting matchup because I'm actually kind of high on Tai after watching some of his footage. And Rashad Coulter has had some big wins, but he did get killed by Chase Sherman. However, Chase Sherman also didn't come out super pretty in that fight for the first half, and Chase Sherman's known to get clipped. That's
why I'm going with Blade, the Daywalker guy, Rashad Coulter, man.
Are you?
That guy throws fucking hammers, and I know Ty looks like a guy. From the footage you showed me, he throws some fucking heat too. But,
you think it's gonna be like an early stoppage, or? Or you think it'll be like a little later? Like, you think Kyle gas?
It'll be late as fuck. It'll probably be it'll be a stoppage real late. Someone will clip someone and they're like, oh, and they'll call it, and then that'll be all she wrote.
I'm going with Bam Bam because fucking I love Bam Bam. He's dope as shit. He also retweeted us this week, so automatic for Bam Bam. But no, honestly, I think I like Rashad Coulter. I think he's a beast. I do think that he is hittable, and I think that could be a problem. Mostly because Tai hits fucking hard and he throws leather. And the fact that he's gotten into way better shape training with Tyson, and he's like actually a full-time fighter now, whereas before he was kind of part-timing this shit. I think it's going to pay off big for him, and I think especially in the hometown, I think all those factors really lean towards Ty getting a big win, and I bet you will have an awesome post-fight speech afterwards where I hope he shouts out his podcast.
I want to hear those new guys. Yeah,
also, you motherfuckers, start shouting out your podcast. What's wrong with you? Nick Diaz knows podcasts are big enough to shout out Joe Rogan's. Start shouting out your podcast after a win. God damn it. Kenny Florian back in the day, if he had a podcast then, would have been like, I finish fights. I also host the Anik Florian podcast. So I recommend that happen. But regardless, I'm excited to see that fight because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Next fight, Janelle Lausa. I believe it's Janelle Lausa, right?
Lausa, yeah.
Who's coming off the loss to Magomed Biblatov and the win over some dude from Tough China. I'm assuming.
Ziqui Yao.
Sure. Yeah, that guy. And then before that, he wins in Pacific Extreme Combat.
Oh, yeah, that's like that's like the Asian Pacific kind of league, right?
I was gonna say
it has to be Filipino.
I was gonna say
it's something to the Philippines.
It sounds like some shit that my dad would have talked about as a war zone in fucking Vietnam. It's like Pacific Extreme Combat.
Pacific Extreme Combat.
We're down in the Pacific Extreme Combat section. Eric Shelton, meanwhile, is taking him on. He's coming off the losses to Jared Brooks, which is that Monkey God?
Yeah.
It is, right? Yeah, so he's coming off the loss to Monkey God, Jared Brooks, and Alexandre Pantoja. Thank you.
Yeah.
I am terrible at pronouncing on the fly. And someone's back.
This kid still has a lot of potential. He's only, I think, 26.
He looked good, man. Like, despite his
losses are split, so it's not like
they're split losses to tough motherfuckers that were coming in looking for, like, UFC was looking to give him a win, like, when they were coming in. Like, dudes like...
I think this is an opportunity here.
Dudes like Jared Brooks and Alessandro Pantoja.
This has to be the opportunity they're giving him right here.
You're thinking that, or this is when they're trying to put Janelle in a position to kind of climb the ranks.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll tell you right now, I'm going Shelton only because I haven't seen Janelle fight, and because I know Shelton's potential. So he has a really high ceiling.
So I have seen both these dudes fight. Man, I'm gonna go Eric Shelton mostly off of experience, but and honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm going off the location. Eric Shelton is from the U.S. and I would assume he has way better wrestling, which I feel like could play in big if Janelle's coming off a loss to Magomed Biblatov,
who's a Dagestani
and he's out of the Philippines.
Savage.
Like, you can't imagine. I wouldn't imagine that Janelle's wrestling game is going to be anywhere close enough to be able to compete with Eric Shelton. And Eric Shelton having fought dudes like Jared Brooks and coming off a loss to dudes like Jared Brooks and Pantoja, and both were split decisions. That you got to imagine his grappling game's pretty strong. So I'm going to lean that way. But I think it's going to be an interesting fight either way, though. There's a lot of interesting style matchups despite them feeling one-sided going into them, you know what I mean? So let's see, we got Alex Chambers.
The astrophysicist or astronomy?
Yep, astrophysicist.
Yeah.
Taking on Nadia Kasem, or Kasem, actually, as...
Wait, aren't astrophysicists pretty much astronauts because they study space?
I mean, no, because astronauts go into space.
Okay, so she just studies space. Okay,
yeah. From what I understand. To be fair, I'm not an astrophysicist. And I fucking don't do space. You know what I want nothing to do with? Shit offside of this planet.
Why not, though? It's kind of intriguing. Did you ever play Dead Space? Well, minus the horror game.
Well, that's my point, though, is like...
That is kind of fucking scary, though. Because you can't hear anything either.
At that point,
or no one can hear you.
Why would I not just... I'd rather play...
To be fair, I did play this game that was for an Xbox called the Turing Test, and it's basically... I don't want to call it a rip-off of Portal. It's a fucking cool game.
It's interesting, for sure.
Oh, if you played it?
I've heard of it.
It's pretty sick. It's in a spaceship, and artificial intelligence, I'm already guessing, I haven't played it, that it's going to be a twist, like the Rowan is just like Hal from Space Odyssey, and to be like, I have to betray you, Dave, that kind of thing,
Right.
I'm already guessing it's going to happen.
I mean,
because in the game so far, some of the other cryopods have been disabled, and
I'm trying not to spoil stuff on how this goes.
Yeah,
because you're on the right track.
Sorry, the game is pretty sick though.
And you had Janelle in the last one, right?
No, I had Sheldon.
We both had Sheldon.
Yeah.
So you lean in Alex Chambers? Or
I'm gonna go Alex. Excuse me, Alex. Fuck, I'm gonna go Alex Chambers in this one.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have a reason. It's just I heard she fought with the Diaz brothers.
My main reason is she got a win over Caitlin Curran, who's legit. She got a win over Jodie Escobar, who's legit. Her two losses, I don't know what the fuck.
Her two losses, her friends.
Yeah, her losses she'd lost to were Ashlyn Daly and Paige Van Zandt. Which
I was going to make a joke. Future flyweight contender title, excuse me, not anymore.
Yeah.
PVZ.
I don't know.
But then again, who else would actually want to fight Valentina?
The thing with Nadia, as we talked about earlier on the podcast, is like Megan Anderson even
was really high on her, right?
No, she even said like, "Yo, she is a unknown prospect that's been fighting on like D-level leagues." Okay. And this is a late notice replacement.
So this is her wake-up call.
Well, this is a late replacement fight, where she's stepping in as an Australian on a card, you know. So it's one of those things where like she could absolutely get the upset in this, because the thing is with especially with Can Crushers, like, or in comparison to her
Thomas Almeida. It's good.
Well, in comparison to their career, like when they step up to an actual high level MMA fight, like it's hard to tell where they're gonna be at. Like Justin Gaethje is a good example of what a lot of people, even though I knew Justin and a lot of us knew that Justin Gaethje was gonna be super competitive, it's one of those. There is that minute of question in the first round when you see someone like Marlon Moraes or Chito Vera or any of these guys step over in a league, or even like fucking Chuck in Pride, or fucking Nick Diaz against Takanori Gomi. Like, there's that moment where they step over where you're like, how do these two leagues compare? And like, what relevance does the actual league quality have to do with the matchup quality?
Yep.
So like, there's a lot of weird factors, and this is absolutely one of them. But Nadia has I think we mentioned earlier, essentially is the Australian equivalent of having fought. She's the Australian equivalent of William McFarlane, who just won the Bellator belt.
Yep.
Which, again, should be noted. The person I'm referencing as similar to Nadia just won the Bellator belt at fucking 125. So, I don't know, man. I'm definitely gonna lean Alex Chambers as well, just because I can't trust what I don't have enough footage on. But she could Mara Romero Barella this entire motherfucker and just immediately be like, make me think I know nothing about the sport and I should really stop talking so much. So I'm gonna lean Alex Chambers, but I think it's gonna be interesting. Damian Brown taking on Frank Camacho. First off, I'd like to shout out Frank.
President Camacho.
So that's the first thing I'd like to shout out is, number one, how many podcasts made a Idiocracy reference this week, and how
Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Camacho.
Yeah, well, and number two, I'd like to shout out how awesome the name Frank the Crank Camacho is.
Fuck yes.
That's one of the greatest fucking names in all of fight sports.
This is excellent.
I'm super impressed.
Oh, and he looks like, remember we said he kind of looked like Robbie Lawler?
That's Damian Brown.
No. I'm looking at Frank Camacho. Watch, he looks like Lawler plus Couture.
Yeah.
It's like Lawler and Couture, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit. Out of Trench Tech MMA.
Where's the Saipan Northern Mariana Islands?
It's Mariana Trench. So.
Okay, yeah, so near Florida. Well, in that. No. I'm thinking of Bermuda. Excuse me.
It's South America, right?
Mariana, no, dude. I think it's near China. Like China Sea, right? South China Sea, like near that area, like Japan, China. I don't know. I have to look it up because now I'm confused.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up because I'm the world's worst at geography.
What's it called? South Mariana Islands?
Just look at where the here.
Mariana Islands.
Northern Mariana. It's gonna be near the Marianas Trench, which I thought was South America, near the fucking what's that super gay passageway where everyone fucks through the two islands?
Super gay?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where everyone fucks through North America and South America to get to the Pacific Ocean.
The Panama Canal, like the area, Central America.
Yeah,
it's real gay, huh?
Yeah,
it's gay season there. It's the gayest time of year.
They
cool.
Like panic.
That's logical. You sound like your boy Roy Moore.
Like Panic Gay Canal. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Roy. Anyways, the Northern Mariana Islands are
near Marianas Trench.
Are a little bit east of the Philippines, which makes sense on this card.
Oh, okay, you're way better.
And south of Japan. I said it's near Japan. Yeah. Marianas Trench.
China.
I remember. Yeah. Oh, I did say China.
You're way closer than me.
Hey, look, it's right here. There's China.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I'm the world's worst.
See, there's the South China Sea, and then there's the Philippines, which blocks it from it. So it's to east of Philippines.
Again, I'd like to note I'm the worst ever at fucking geography. I don't know where anything is.
Yeah, there's Nam and there's Bangkok.
I know LA is north. That's about as good as I ask me which county in San Diego is which direction. I will fuck it up 80% of the time unless you say La Mesa.
Okay, where's Spring Valley?
Northeast.
Southeast. it's your South Bay.
Keep going. Give me another one.
Another twist too. It's not called Spring Valley anymore. It's called Funner, California. Which is
no, it's not.
Yeah, swear to God.
Oh my God.
I swear to fucking God, that's a real thing. It's called Funner, California.
We have to burn it to the ground, Chris.
It's real. I saw stupid billboards. Okay, real quick. Where's Elite Scripps Ranch? That's not even. That's in the city. That's it. That's a neighborhood.
I'm gonna go north.
It's mostly north. It's just direct north. It's not even north.
I know white. So I just gauge it on how many white people I know from that area.
How many trees there are?
It's uppity.
It's a whiter Tierrasana. And even Tierrasana's already white enough.
My reference is always like people I know who know people in Scripps Ranch. On the scale, how white in the scale are they? And by white, I mean like really. It's just I don't even mean white. I mean it's just a fucking class level. Like, if I hear fucking Linda Vista, I'm like, well, not rich people living in Linda Vista. If I hear La Jolla, I'm like, well, rich people living in La Jolla. So that means the opposite, closer to the ocean or further from the ocean. Yeah. Point being, I'm a big ol' honky. Alright, we'll keep moving on. We fucking really detoured. Damian Brown is taking on Frank Camacho. We didn't give pics for this.
No. Wow.
Damian Brown coming off the loss of it from Help a Show back in April, which I forgot even existed. And then Frank the Crank coming off the loss to Jang Lang, which Jang Lang is my favorite. I love Jang Lang, so no shame.
Can I give you something?
No shame, Jang Lang.
Can I give you something that's very upsetting? Remember how I told you Spring Valley is now Funner? Do you want to know the legit proposed mayor for Funner, California? This is very upsetting, and this is an embarrassment to San Diego County. Oh God, it's their official mayor. Dude, this can't be real. This just seems like a fever dream. Guess who the real mayor of Funner, formerly known as Spring Valley, California is?
Will Ferrell?
Almost. It's David fucking Hasselhoff. Like, what? Like, again, he probably lived in San Diego and was like, oh wait, there's a county, so let me be the mayor of Funner.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Well, the good news is...
Watch, look. Funner isn't a city. It's a place with one resort, one casino, 1,086 hotel rooms, 10 eateries, 3 lounges, and a mini water park. There are no houses, no libraries, and no public schools.
What the fuck?
What?
That's not
that
Spring
doesn't sound
Valley.
like Spring Valley. So this like
is that
crap?
Different?
No, this and Funner isn't.
Did they change the fucking radius on Spring Valley?
I think so. I'm so confused.
Did they make Funner inside of Spring Valley?
All I remember is that a city in the county of San Diego got changed to this stupid fucking name, Funner, California. Because I was driving with the 163 north towards Claremont from downtown, I saw a stupid billboard that said Funner, California. Anyways, we've gone way off topic, and I apologize.
We're gonna have to assault a motherfucker. I'm pretty sure.
I am very confused. I'm gonna have to ask my dad. He's good with all the government laws and he knows all the shit's going on with the city. So I'm just
That's
asking him, like, hey, Dad,
Your dad's got inside connections.
I'm just like, hey, Dad, what's fun to California and why is David Hasselhoff relevant here?
We have to start bribing your dad to start suing.
Well, he's not in
David
politics
Hasselhoff.
anymore. Well, technically he's
Chris, you act like politics ever end.
I know, right?
Also,
That's what my dad
it's
said.
not like
My
your
dad's told
stepmom
me-
is away from politics.
Right.
So we will continue on, but yeah, David Hasselhoff, watch your ass. Could be coming forward. No homo. All right. So Frank Camacho is taking on Damian Brown, which we've talked about 18 times. Who you like in this? Do you have a pick?
I like Camacho, dude, because the last time when I saw
I
him
like
fight,
Jangalang.
Well, dude, when he fought Jangalang was hitting him with some haymakers, and Camacho was just like Robbie Lawler style. Let's fucking go, man. And
Yep.
I just like that style. He's a tough son of a bitch.
Tough as shit, and I don't at all trust Damian Brown's record. Like looking at it, like when you're getting killed from Hell Pichel, I like Vince Pichel a lot. I think he's cool as shit. But a win over John Tuck and Cesar Armendia at this point don't do much for me. As a matter of fact, looking down his record, there's not a name that does much for me. Shane Young maybe is the biggest one, and I'm not even sure that's the same Shane Young I'm thinking of. John Tuck, I mean, is I guess the biggest name, but yeah, I'm going Frank the Crank. Also, Frank the Crank has a great goddamn nickname, so it never hurts. Anthony Hamilton taking on Adam Weizork.
I'm going Adam Weizork because every time I've ever chosen Anthony Hamilton at anything in life, he has lost.
Me too. Same. Everything about that sentence, I agree with. I also not only had him, wanted him on my fantasy team the first time around, I have him on my fantasy team this time around. Because I saw, hey wait, Anthony Hamilton's still supposed to fight again. And I'm like, oh, you mean that dude who got bodied 60 days ago? Great. I would definitely take...
Excuse me, it's like, fuck, didn't this guy just fight?
Dude, they argue that they rescheduled this Weizork Hamilton fight because of the Polish crowd at the Polish stadium, because they're like, oh, these rowdy soccer hooligans. I think someone from the commission over in the States was like, yo, motherfucker, Anthony Hamilton got killed 25 days ago, and I don't think you should be probably putting him on a card where he's probably going to get knocked out 25 days later in a similarly bad way for his retirement fight, because he already said he wanted to retire and then took this fight because it happened to come up. So I think someone in the commission mentioned some shit, and that's why this fight even exists. But man, Anthony Hamilton has had a rough fucking run. Knockouts in the last 5 fights, he is 1-5 or 1-4. He has a win over, 2-5. He's a win over Daniel Omilanchek, lost to Shamil Durahimov, win over Damian Grabowski, and then losses to Francis Ngannou, Fortuna, and Spitz back to back, all of which were in pretty quick succession, all of which were pretty fucking ugly to watch, especially the Spitz fucking knockout. Jesus Christ. And then Weizork is coming off of a bunch of crazy fucking European finishes where he's just killing dudes in the first round.
Yeah. And I expect that here.
Yeah, shit like in Spartan Fight 5 where he's winning by submission via rear naked choke at 0 rounds of the not applicable time limit. Like shit like that. Or like knockouts.
Bring it on, come on,
and
like, it's all over.
Or like knockouts via or a TKO via punches at 5:06 in a round.
The ref was like, "All right, that's it. No with these nuts."
Does that mean it's a 10-minute round? Does that mean you just let it go for an extra 6 seconds? Like, what does that mean?
6 minute round.
Evidently, PLMMA doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm going Weizork, but I don't. Yeah, I hope Anthony starts coaching or something. You like Weizork in that, we said?
Yeah.
All right. We both got Weez. So up next we got Will Brooks versus Nick Lynch, which was supposed to happen 1,800 years ago, it feels like.
Yeah. And Nick Lynch had a weight issue.
Yep.
Something.
Nick Lentz had an issue. I was gonna try and start quoting Will Brooks lines, but if I do it out of context, it just makes me sound like I'm insulting a fighter. So I'm gonna bail on that. But of course,
Will Brooks does not have any luck against people named Oliveira.
Will Brooks has not had a lot of luck in the UFC, honestly. I mean, he has the win over Ross Pearson, which was a fucking tough decision, and then he's lost 2 in a row to the Oliveira twins. And then Nick Lentz is, of course, coming off of the loss to Islam Makhachev, the win over Michael
McBride.
Okay, I was making sure I wasn't just fucking making that up. And then Danny Castillo.
It's probably what it says, but yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, right? Michael McBride sounds like something Danny McBride would put into the fucking Fight Finder as a joke. Yeah, I don't know.
This is actually a weird one to call.
It is.
This guy lost.
I'll let you go first, since I know you like to steal my picks if I don't.
All right. Yeah.
Because I intend to do more tape study, but then again, that doesn't do me any goddamn good, because you generally do it better than me on picks. So.
I'm gonna actually go with Will Brooks on this. The only reason being is that they wanted Nick Lentz to originally fight BJ Penn a little while ago, and at this point, based on how BJ Penn has looked, please retire. If they wanted to originally have him fight Nick Lentz, clearly Sean Shelby, whoever was dictating that matchup, was like, "Oh, I think BJ could possibly hang with this guy." So that clearly tells me, Nick Lentz, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going Will Brooks all the way, mostly because Nick Lentz doesn't fight often enough, and Nick Lentz also loves to give away rounds late. The only way I see Nick Lentz winning this is by getting top position early in a weird scramble and getting a sub, or getting bottom position early and catching a sub and like a takedown. Like if he hits a guillotine because Will Brooks leaves his head on it or something like that.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I think Will Brooks just fucking styles on him, takes him down, punches him in the head for the entire.
And this will be good
duration.
for Will Brooks to get back in the win column too.
I think it'll be a solid win, and also that dude is on the similar fucking career path as Marlon Moraes type, where like no easy fights so far. Like that motherfucker has had nothing but awful matchups so far. Like fucking Ross Pearson, bad matchup. I mean, the best of the matchups he's had. But
and he
a bad
fought
matchup.
a welterweight who was overweight by
Alex
like 10
Oliveira
pounds, like
was a humongous motherfucker, and then Charles Oliveira hit the one choke he always hit, or he hit an RNC, not a guillotine actually. But yeah, no, Will Brooks literally just gave up his back in a scramble and got killed by one of the nastiest submission artists in the division. So it's hard to be mad at Will Brooks for any of that. I am a big Will Brooks fan though. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love that kid. I've been following him on Twitter forever. I say kid. I think he's older than me. He's definitely more mature, but he's definitely older and more mature than me. But Will Brooks is fucking awesome. I like him a lot. I may or may not have a Will Brooks t-shirt somewhere in my closet. And I'm definitely going Will Brooks in that one. Also, I fucking hate Nick Lentz. To be fair, I don't hate Nick Lentz. I can't stand any of his goddamn gimmicks. I fucking hate Doug Crosby. I fucking don't like if it's Chael or if it's Doug writing the poems. Whoever it is, I fucking hate him. I want BJ Penn to choke them all unconscious, and I fucking hate all of it. So I can't ever root for Nick Lentz because of how awful his poems are. How about that?
That sounds like it'd be very offensive, though.
That's fine. Fuck poets. Diego Sanchez is the only poet I'll root for. And I don't even know if he does poetry. It just seems like he would.
No, he definitely does poetry. I think I remember there was that one thing on MMA Hour. He had that 45-minute story. Remember that?
There's an episode of Tough where they're all doing fucking poetry.
Oh, yeah. That was a Jesse Taylor one.
Yes.
Gilbert Smith is like, I'll rap. And it was like the worst shit ever.
Oh, my God. That's real bad. All right. We'll keep moving on.
Poetry with the boys.
Oh, God damn it. I will fucking stab somebody.
Babyface Ryan Benoit.
That's
he
right.
Looks...
Oh, it's not Benoit. It's not Benoit.
I'm going to call him Benoit. Don't give a fuck.
You can't use the word baby and Benoit in the same
Yes,
sentence.
you can. You know what? This guy looks like if Junior Albino actually...
Shot himself in the face?
and if he worked out...
Oh, sorry. I thought you... Oh, Benoit. I thought you were saying Benoit.
No, Benoit hung himself. He hanged himself. Excuse me.
Okay.
Proper English.
Sorry. He shot the other people in the face.
He murdered his wife and kid and then hanged himself because of roid rage. Okay. And why am I laughing? I'm an asshole. Whatever.
Well, you could have called him Benoit. This all would have been a
but he pronounced it Benoit. That's what I gotta say. Benoit.
Does he?
He pronounces it Benoit.
No, he doesn't.
Dude, you want? Look, I'll look it up right now. Are you fucking serious?
John Anik calls him Ryan Benoit.
Yeah, but that's because that guy is fucking weird.
You know, look, John Anik uses the fighter pronunciation.
Just watch. Yeah, but if someone says "call my name this," it makes them right because that's how they want to be called.
Go ahead and show me that clip because that doesn't exist. He is taking on Ashkan Mokhtarian, who is coming off the loss to John Moraga and the win over some dudes in some fucking crazy name promotions. JNI Promotions, MMA, HFS. Oh, Chris, please pronounce...
I'll have to show you this later because I don't want to interfere.
Please pronounce this fight card for me.
WW Wollongong Wars 3.
Yep, I'm into that. That's my kind of fucking fight card, bro.
So they can call it... Wait. It's called WW Wollongong Wars 3. Is that just redundant? Like it's just Wollongong Wars is already the WWE3? Or are they calling it WWW3?
Quad Dubs 3.
Quad Dubs 3. That sounds fucking sick though. Quad Dubs 3, dude.
Yeah, dog. That's how we roll.
Quad Dubs 3.
Also, I do really enjoy the names of these. JNI Promotions Lockdown. JNI Promotions
Straight up.
JNI Promotions Proceed with Caution.
Oh, man.
JNI Promotions. Oh, that's actual fight name.
Oh,
that's fun.
Fuck.
That's
Rebel FC3, the promised ones.
JNI Promotions Persons of Interest.
That's probably the worst goddamn names I've ever heard.
Oh, it's great. I love Rachel.
Hey, I read the last one is Guar, Fight for the Troops, so that doesn't make sense. See what I mean?
That's awesome. I love all these.
Shit.
So Ashkan is out of Australia, and he has the best goddamn fight names under his belt. Or fight promotion names. Which I lean in. Did you say Benoit or Benoit? I'm
gonna go with the hometown hero, the Ashkan Mokhtarian.
I am not.
You go with Benoit?
I was going to. Ashkan, I feel like style-wise should win this. The problem is like
these guys are flyweights?
Yeah.
Wait, how tall? Oh, they're tiny. Dude, that guy looked like he'd be a welterweight, but he is short. So.
No, it's just a build and the way the picture's shot. Hey, short guys are good at looking tall in pictures. But
not me though.
Yeah, tell me about it. Shout out to Jeremy Stevens. Love you. So I'm gonna go Ryan Benoit. Mostly because, man. So the way this fight breaks down, I have trouble giving any kind of credit to Ashkan and going the distance against him.
Yeah.
Also, coming from Australia, a lot of people give that as a positive. That makes his wrestling kind of interesting in comparison to somebody who can actually grapple. 'Cause he's one of those dudes who does win a lot with wrestling, and it did not work out well for him against John Moraga. So I'm gonna lean Benoit. But Benoit hits hard as fuck. He's the guy who killed Pettis in the face one time. Wait, right? No? Oh, yeah. Killed Pettis in the face. But he also has losses to Ben Nguyen via sub. So who knows, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go Benoit on that one for sure. Alright, we'll keep on moving. Alexander Volkanovski, Shane Young. Chris, you said you were leaning Volkanovski on this earlier, right?
Yeah. I remember he murdered, I think it was Stefan Struve. Oh, no, I was getting... Who the fuck is the Alexander guy? Oh, this is him.
Oh my god, we have the same picks on
Then who
every
the
fight
fuck?
so far.
Then who the god? Fucking who was I talking about?
Yo, you were talking about this guy, but you didn't realize who Shane Young was, who was fighting.
No, but who's the guy that just beat Stefan Struve?
Not this guy, because he weighs 145 pounds.
Yeah, I got that, but I'm so confused still. Can you look up Stefan Struve?
You're thinking...
His name's Alexander something. Can you look it up, please, so I can stop being confused? Fuck.
Yeah, start talking about this, and I can do
Okay,
that.
this fight, I know nothing about Shane Young, except the fact he told me he's an up-and-comer. Alexander Volkanovski, this guy...
Is it Gustafsson?
Huh? No. Look up Stefan Struve.
Okay.
Alexander Volkanovski, I was mistaken.
No, okay, keep going.
Was a guy who I thought beat the fuck out of Stefan Struve. Clearly, he's not a heavyweight. This guy is a 145/155er. I think that's what Shane Young is. I've never seen this guy fight, evidently. Looks like he's beat up a bunch of people in PXC. Pacific Extreme was fighting over in the Philippines. He was fighting in AFC. He's fighting quad dubs for...
Alexander Volkov.
That's why. Okay.
Alexander Volkanovski and Alexander Volkov, pretty close, to be fair.
That's why, yeah.
It's like you combined two fighters to make Volkanovski.
This is a Polak from Australia. The other guy's a Russian.
That's right. Those classic Pol-Australians.
Australians.
Oi.
Australians, cunt. Yeah, so...
You know what they yell out a lot? Poi. Did I do that? I lied.
Oh, no. But yeah, I don't know shit about this Volkanovski guy. Since he beat a guy named David Butt back in Quad Wars 2.
Wow, he did beat a guy named David Butt in Quad Wars 2.
Yeah.
Everything about that statement is good.
Shane Young, I'm just taking your word for it. Yeah, man.
So I'm
kind of out in the wind.
I don't know if I'm picking Shane Young.
Dude, I have no idea who.
I just know people are high on him. I'm actually gonna do Volkanovski.
I don't have a coin, so I'm gonna flip this beer cap.
Go for it. I'll pick tails.
Red hook on it means I pick Volkanovski. Okay, so it landed for you, so that means you pick Young, right?
Oh, is that what that means?
I don't know. Here, let's try it again. So red hook means you pick who?
Wait, okay, we're flipping a coin on this?
Yeah, because I have no idea to pick.
Sure, we'll flip a bottle cap.
So red hook means Young.
Red hook means you pick. How about that?
Okay. No, but I'm on the fence. I don't know who to pick. That's why I'm flipping a coin.
Okay. So
that's the whole point. Whatever it lands on, I'm fucking picking them.
Red hook means
here's an actual coin, goddammit. Okay, it's a penny.
Red hook means Volks.
So here's whose heads?
Red hook. I mean Volks.
Volkanovski's heads?
I mean, he sure seems like one.
Okay, ready? Tails. So we're going Young. We're both going Young.
You're going to go Young. I'm going to go Volks.
Okay, there we go. That works too.
Because we have to have some different picks on this card.
Except for the first one.
Because we're literally the same on every pick so far.
Except for the first one.
Oh, that's true. So you got Volks, right?
Yeah.
No, I got Volks.
No, you do. I have Young.
How dare you start trying to steal my pick. Alright. Elias Theodoro versus Dan Kelly when we actually start getting to recognizable fighters.
I have Elias Theodoro. Remember, I always choose my fantasy guys. Except for 2 weeks ago. Actually, no. 1 week ago. Or no. So 1 week ago? What's today's date? 2 weeks ago. Yeah. 2.5 weeks, or 1.5 weeks ago, I chose Joanna over my fantasy team, my fantasy squad player, Rose. I said, usually I always pick my fantasy players.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
But I was like, oh, wait, well, I just see Rose winning.
Well, that worked out well for you. Yeah.
Well,
fuck.
it did.
I know. Guess who had Joanna in that league?
Yup, and you had Michael Bisping.
Yes, and Jorge Masvidal. And fucking...
Dude, that's like 15 points from all.
Oh, it gets worse because I had motherfucking... What's his face that goddamn got DQ'd by kicking a dude in the face? Wall Harris.
Shithead.
I literally could not have picked a worse lineup except
because you were like, bro, I'm primed for a bunch of wins. I was. Too. No, you were. I mean, it's just like
I was like, Jorge was my flex because I was like, maybe Jorge loses.
What you felt was a feeling of
Jorge got me the most points.
What you felt was a pain of people who play fantasy football where you have like the best players and they just lay it.
Yeah, well,
that's literally what. No, like that's what
they
that was.
Dive on a dick in the middle of the game and in or out for.
Or
6
they break
weeks.
their knee.
Yeah.
They break their knee. And just like for the season.
Yeah.
And they're like, well.
Although I did steal Holly Holm from you somehow.
That is true. Yeah, so. I got rid of Holly Holm like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I actually am pretty high on my team again, but I was real high on it last season and early in this season, and although I do have most of the headliners in the upcoming cards.
That's good.
Because I bailed on season 1 so fucking hard. I just started grabbing errors from season 2.
Dude, don't even tell me about it, man. I lost by 3 goddamn points. Could have been the playoffs.
You don't gotta tell me, bro. I ate a bag of dicks by like 8 points, I think, in my other league. Where guess who fucked me?
Oh, wasn't it?
I believe it was Lawfitz also.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not positive. I need to double check, but somebody just barely beat me. Anyway, it's really hot in this room. But I was gonna say it's like maybe because we don't have fans on and we're recording. But now that I think about it, I'm wrong. It's because I pulled up Elias Theodoro's Sherdog page.
Hell yeah, dude.
So obviously got super steamy up in this bitch.
Look at that hair.
Speaking of super steamy, Dan Kelly is a PE teacher who actually taught the Australian judo team. Dan Kelly's a bad motherfucker. People sleep on Dan Kelly because of his losses to Sam Alvey and Derek Brunson, which, man, those aren't bad losses. Like, if those are your 2 losses
Dude, I
in
forgot
your
he
career,
beat Shoeface. That's so weird.
he knocked out Shoeface, didn't he?
That is so weird. Yeah, he knocked him out. Wow.
Crazy. Whereas Elias his 2 losses are Thiago Santos and Brad Tavares, which are both decisions unanimously. Man, yeah, this is going decision, right?
Yeah.
Unless Dan Kelly sleeps Elias, it's going decision.
No, dude, I could see Daniel Kelly winning this, but I have Elias, and I think he's gonna do that bullshit kind of thing where he just kind of keeps sidestepping, backstepping the outside, does a little side kick, does a little spinning bullshit, maybe clinches once, knees him in the stomach, rinse and repeat.
I don't even think he'll clinch at all because of Daniel Kelly's judo.
Yeah, no, that's...
I think the entire fight is going to be Elias throwing fucking those shitty backhand fists that are like not a real strike and circling.
Where he's like...
While Dan Kelly does a lot of like...
Dan Kelly's just like this, yeah.
A lot of like
this.
squatting and
just
not
like
doing anything.
Yeah, just like that, exactly.
Or a lot of like squatting and lunging for an overhand, which he clearly misses, and then it's Elias just like...
Oh, no, you're right. This is literally
face.
Dan Kelly. He has a knee brace on, he's like this.
Yeah. It's... The one thing that could play a big factor, if Elias does decide to do Elias things, like try and get double unders and push Dan Kelly against the fence, I think he probably gets thrown on his head. I don't think he's dumb enough to do that. He's a smart dude, and he's real good at game planning, or else he would have lost that Alvey fight.
Yeah.
Because that shit was super close. And Alvey could have, like, if Alvey was any better at game planning, he would have won that fight. But Alvey is just kind of does what you give him. Like, Alvey is the classic example. And I fucking love Sam Alvey, don't get me wrong. He's one of my favorite people. Super, super nice guy. When I met him down in San Diego. Actually, you guys heard me mention that same event on the Between Rounds podcast, or on the last Sherdog podcast on the intro. So I saw Larry Landless and Sam Alvey at the same event down at the Del Mar Fair. Which, by the way, we should go to the next fucking...
yeah, I'd be down. That sounds sick.
Summerfest show. We'll fucking get credentials and everything. We'll hit up the lady who runs it, because she's just, like, cage side. We'll get some media credentials through her. But
I'll borrow, like, a DSLR camera for, like, my dad or some shit.
Dude,
like some badass camera.
At this point, like, my camera works fine. Like, we don't need... we ain't running that kind of site.
That is true, yeah.
Like, fucking, we have pictures up from my old phone, which was a piece of shit, and those still look pretty decent.
Yeah,
except for my thumb being in them, because I was drinking the entire day and I was on edibles. But
that'll do it.
But now that we're back on topic, I'm going Dan Kelly over Elias. I don't trust Elias. But...
I mean, I don't either. I trust in my points.
No, I'm with you. And, like, I think Elias is probably the smart pick in this. Like, I feel like pick the guy. Elias bugs me. And not, like, in that he's not nice, and I don't, like, I'm sure if I ever met Elias Theodoro, he'd be cool as shit. Like, every interview, he's always nice.
Yeah, seems pretty chill.
Good dude. But, like, Dan Kelly, man. I want to root for Grandpa Dan.
He's a top cunt.
I want Grandpa Dan to win. All right, we'll keep going. Jake Matthews, Bojan Veličković. Jake Matthews is an interesting dude. He's had some tough losses, but when you look at him in context, they're not that fucking bad. In the UFC, he has wins over Deshaun Johnson and Wagner Hocha. Then he has the loss to James Vick, wins over Akbar Ariola and Johnny Case, and losses to Kevin Lee and Andrew Holbrook. The Holbrook loss is the only one that really even worries me a little bit.
Was that a weird fight too?
It was, if I remember right. But he's taking on Bojan, who's coming off of the win over Nicholas Musoki and the loss to Darren Till. But he does have the draw with Michael Graves, which is a pretty crazy fight. It's scrappy as shit. And then
Michael Graves at ATT. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that draw he got way back in the day?
A year and a half ago? Or a little over a year ago? Yeah.
So this is kind of an interesting fight. Especially when you think about like both of their backgrounds and where they're training out of. Bojan's out of Elevation, which is interesting.
Hey, my cousin, Nico Bellic.
And dude went 3 rounds with Darren Till, which nowadays is pretty impressive.
I'm a light heavyweight, fighting an welterweight.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been impressive a year or two ago, but nowadays pretty impressive. And then Jake Matthews has some big wins. Like Johnny Case is a big win. Akbar is pretty big. And Kevin Lee loss isn't that bad. The one that is a little curious is the Andrew Holbrook loss via split decision. And I honestly don't remember that fight well enough to remember whether or not I gave him that decision. I feel like I might have, honestly. But it's been a while. So, which way are you leaning?
I think I'm going Bojan.
Yeah. Yeah, you know
Just
what?
because the other dude hasn't fought in over a year, and this fool survived Darren Till.
In September.
That's not too long ago.
That's 2 months ago.
2 months ago, that's it? Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to go Bojan, too. Just because of that. I was going to go Jake Matthews, but you can't.
Oh, no, I think Jake Matthews
if you're surviving,
don't get me wrong.
If you're surviving Darren Till.
But yeah, that's...
Actually, shit.
It is in Australia.
Who is his losses to? Who is Bojan's losses to?
Till Sultan Aliyev.
Sultan Aliyev, Gilbert Smith. Ooh, draw with another grappler. Actually, I'm changing it.
Alright.
Christoph. Yeah, I'm changing it. I am going to go with
Jake Matthews.
I'm going to go Jake Matthews just off the wrestling. I am not positive because it's hard to gauge Australian wrestlers against the rest of everyone else.
Except for Robert Whittaker.
Well, he's the part of the reason why it's so hard.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Robert Whittaker, it'd be easy as shit. They're not good compared to everyone else.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But there's guys like Robert Whittaker. Jake Matthews, to be fair, decent wrestler, and has shown it in his fights. It makes it like just, especially how fucking solid Robert Whittaker has gotten. It started to make picking against Australian wrestlers or Australian fighters a lot harder. It's kind of like how after Mark Hunt showed up, everyone was like, "Oh shit, can't really pick you can't really just assume wrestlers are gonna fucking kill New Zealanders anymore." Like, just because of that dude's stature and takedown defense. If you give them a tiny bit of takedown defense, will start murdering motherfuckers. So, I'm super undecided on this fight. This is exactly the kind of fight that I will change when I give my picks on MMA Community tomorrow. When I'm going through and looking at the matchups and rethinking this. But, yeah, I will go... You had Matthews?
I had Bojan.
Yeah, I'm going to go Matthews for now. But I may very well change that. Anyway, we'll keep moving. Tim Means, Bilal Muhammad, favorite fight in the card.
Bilal, remember the name versus Dirty Bird. If I recall.
Dirty Bird.
Who should probably have a significant size advantage.
Yeah. I don't know about
6'2", 5'10". Yep. That's 4 inches and no, 5 inches. Excuse me. No.
Yeah.
5. Yeah, 5.
Well, 4. Or I guess 5 because 6 foot.
Yeah. 6 foot 3 from 5. Yeah.
But I don't know about an actual size. How that.
Yeah. I just mean height.
Out.
I just mean height and probably reach advantage. I would imagine.
I don't know, man.
But I don't know though.
He's a little long. Bilal is.
See, this is the thing, man.
And it should be noted, the Dirty Bird is also known as KFC in Australia, thanks to Megan Anderson.
Gotta find this ball, the Dirty Bird.
Also,
get some fucking Georgia Gold and spicy Nashville.
Right. Also, it should be noted,
with a side of a boomerang.
Tim Means has a hell of a fucking record.
Yeah, Tim Means, I really want to pick him right here because I remember his grappling is solid as shit.
It's super solid.
But Muhammad's boxing is pretty on point. At least the last time I saw him fight, that dude's got a fucking real fucking quick and slick jab, dude. Like fucking just.
Yeah, Bilal's coming off the win via decision over Randy Brown and Jordan Mean after losing to Vicente Luque via fucking crushing headshot.
I kind of feel like I got caught.
Dude, yeah, he just walked into a shot.
Yeah.
But other than that fight, he's basically fucked people up on the feet except for Alan Jouban.
Except for the third round, he styled Alan Jouban, but it wasn't enough because Alan Jouban took the first 2 rounds.
Well, Alan Jouban took the first round big too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that third round was all fucking Muhammad.
For sure, but not like nearly.
Oh no, I know. I know Jouban won.
Like one of the first 2 rounds could have been a 10-8. The last one couldn't have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Tim Means, the Dirty Bird, is coming off the win over Alex Garcia.
He had the back-to-back fights against Cowboy Oliveira,
which are weird.
No contest the first time because he got kneed in the face.
They kind of mean nothing to me.
Or no, he kneed Oliveira in the head.
Yeah, they kind of mean nothing to me. Like when you have a weird split like that, it's like, man, I don't know. There's so much emotion involved in that kind of like fight that it kind of loses a bit of the.
I think he TKO'd Diego Lima a couple years ago.
Like lost to Matt Brown though via sub is weird. Like went over John Howard via punches is understandable. I don't know. He has a weird record. Tim Means has a weird record, and I feel like I'll let you pick first. You in and Tim, or you in and Bilal? Remember the name. Dirty or remember? Don't remember the dirty.
I'm going Tim Means here. He's a lankier fighter. I think he's going to outside point. I haven't seen enough of Bilal's grappling game to be confident he can really kind of get behind Tim Means. I feel like Tim Means' biggest weakness is grappling, which is why Cowboy kind of made it relatively look easy last time they fought. Because I remember Cowboy was in the clinch. I know Bilal does have clinch game. I've seen him knee people before, and he seems like he's pretty comfortable with that kind of facet of what.
Yeah, well, he's got a roof
seen at that weight. Yeah, I mean, I could see Muhammad point fighting though too, and just because he has better boxing, I'm sure. But I think Tim Means' reach is going to be an advantage here, and I think he's going to be able to kind of out-grapple Muhammad. I just haven't seen enough of Muhammad's to. It could go either way, honestly. I'm gonna go with Means.
I think that's probably the smart pick. I think Means is the pick that makes sense. Bilal is by nature a smaller dude. Bilal also is, while being younger and scrappy as shit, he's also coming out of Duke Rufus's gym, which has a weird track record right now of like dudes improving, but in weird ways. They're not improving like it's not like ATT where you know like, oh wait, there's a female fighter at ATT. Okay, her ground game is way different than the last time we saw her. It's not like that with Duke Rufus's gym. It's like, oh, there's a striker out of Duke Rufus's gym. Okay, their output is way better, but
yeah,
if they get any kind of pressure, it gets kind of weird and scrambly, and like who knows how their takedown and defense and grappling game is.
That's a great point.
So I'm gonna lean Bilal in this, but that's mostly just because I've been high on fucking Bilal Muhammad since I saw him fight in Titan. Yeah. When were you over here when I watched him get that win?
Yeah, you had one on before.
Because, it was the Titan FC win over Steve Carl, which I was, like, so fucking high on because he boxed the face off of Steve Carl.
Steve Carl, and that's a good point, because Steve Carl's a great wrestler at ATT, or at least he was last time I checked.
Exactly. So, that's why I was super impressed. And Bilal's a motherfucker on the feet. Like, if Bilal gets going and finds his range and gets his pace going, I think he fucks Tim Means up bad. But if Tim Means is able to make this an ugly clinch exchange and bang off some elbows and make this a weird, scrambly kind of up and down, in the clinch, out of the clinch, takedown, not takedown, kind of just scrappy, scrambly fight, I think Tim Means might take it, but I'm going to go Bilal. And then we got Beck Rawlings taking on Jess in the co-main, which,
Jesse
the fuck?
Rose Clark.
Yep, Jesse Rose Clark. I'm a big fan of both of these girls.
Don't know who the fuck Jessica Rose Clark is.
You've seen her fight, probably.
Let me see.
In Invicta. I would almost
I recognize
guarantee.
Pam Sorensen.
Yeah.
And actually, that's about it.
I
know who Sarah Kaufman is.
Yeah, and Karina Dam. You might have even seen that Karina Dam fight.
I definitely know who Beck Rawlings is.
Yeah, but so I think you might have even seen Jessica Rose Clark fight before, but so Jess has had a good run in Invicta between let's see, she had the Penny Key and Zod fight, which you might have seen also. And then she also had the Pam Sorensen fight. I guess to be fair, she did lose both of those, but they're both decisions and they're both scrappy as fuck. Because that's mostly what I know Jessica Rose Clark from, is from her Invicta fights, and they've always been tough as shit. And it's just scrappy fucking fights. She's gone through some crazy stuff with her personal life and people she was associated with and all that, which we talked about previously. But getting one over Karina Dam and in Titan FC is big as shit. And Jess she's tough as nails, super scrappy, super pressure heavy. She's gonna come out and throw a lot of volume. The only thing that makes me curious in this fight is with Beck Rawlings. I don't know how. Two things. I don't know how the size advantage is gonna play into this fight.
Oh, that's bright, and she is strawweight.
And I don't know how the cardio advantages are gonna play into this fight. Yeah, because
is this fight at flyweight?
Yeah, this fight's at 125. Jess has missed at 135, and she's missed at 125. Beck has almost...
Oh, dude, the last time I saw Beck Rawlings fight was when Paige Van Zandt had that gnarly flying kick in the face.
Well,
right?
and Beck has almost missed at 115 a couple times, but she made it, I believe, every time. But yes, she will know. You probably saw that Tisha Torres wrestle fucking, where Tisha just threw her up against the cage and beat her up the entire fight.
I know Rawlings is out of Alliance. You gotta support the Alliance crew, but
it's hard not to.
Dude, I gotta go Jessica Rose Clark here. I know,
interesting.
You kind of mentioned.
Why are you leaning that way?
Didn't you kind of mention they both have weight issues?
Possibly. But Jessica Rose Clark. So Jessica Rose Clark, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, was scheduled for a 125-pound fight in.
And she missed that.
In Deep Jewels, she missed it by 10 pounds.
Oh wait. Oh well. Yeah.
That's the no contest in her record. If I scroll down. This is because of the weight class issue. So it becomes weird.
Fuck. Yeah, you know what? No, I fucked that. I'm going Beck Rawlings based on who she's fought recently. Because, I don't know. I look at, I recognize maybe two names that fought Rose Clark. But Paige Van Zandt...
Henneke and Zad and Pam Sorensen and Sarah Kaufman.
I know Sarah Kaufman's legit, but yeah, I know I gotta go Rawlings based on she's fought Tisha Torres. Paige Van Zandt's a decent striker, at least she was when she was kind of out of Alliance.
Yeah.
Not Alliance, fucking Team Alpha Male, what am I talking about?
Yeah.
So I gotta go Rawlings. I mean, I know... I don't know.
It's a tough fight to pick.
I'm just gonna go with her and just say that's it. I'm just gonna wing it.
I'm with you. I'm gonna go Beck Rawlings. I was always going to. Mostly because of two things. Number one, Alliance like a motherfucker, bitches. And two, because I think people underestimate the way weight cuts hurt fighters. And Beck is not... Like, Beck... I believe Megan Anderson said at one point, Beck would get, like, up to 150 between fight camps.
Oh, wow.
Like, huge... Like, she's way bigger than 115. But she's not nearly big enough for 135. So I think 125 is the right size for her. The thing is, with this fight, Jessica Rose Clark is so motherfucking scrappy. Like, she is a girl who will just come out and just throw 1-2s and box your goddamn face off all night if you give her a chance. She'll just jab you to death and throw low kicks and fucking kill you. So I am leaning Beck Rawlings. I would not at all be surprised if Jessica Rose Clark takes this via decision or TKO, depending on how Beck's gas tank holds up. But I think Beck's size and Beck's toughness will probably favor her in the long run on this. And I do pick her. But it really depends on what kind of Beck shows up. And if Beck does not get this win, number one, I think it does huge things for Jessica Rose Clark. And it definitely puts Beck on a range in that flyweight division or featherweight or strawweight division that it puts her in a weird place where she needs a win pretty soon, or else she's gonna get like for lack of a better example, Alex Chambered. So I also find it weird. Why do you think they made that the co-main other than they're in Australia and they had some beef 5 years ago?
Probably because they're both Australian too.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is they're both Australian.
I think that's honestly the main.
And they had beef 5 years ago.
That's why. I mean,
but like, and they're both adorable. Like they're very cute. They're very nice girls. They're very likable. You hear them for 2 minutes, either one of them, and you're like, oh, all right, well, kind of want to hug you. Kind of think you want to swing on me, but I kind of want to hug you. Speaking on...
We got Fabricio the Boomerang Verdum.
That's right. La Boomerage.
Dude, I gotta request the mod Flair change to Team Boomerang on fucking...
Dog.
But I can't support Fabricio, though, because he's a shithead, so... I just like the Flair.
Wait, you can just request Flair?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh, God.
You have to be lucky, though. Sometimes I'll just ignore you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm still fucking...
After that Hanging with the Boys episode of Tough, like, this one guy just was very just up. He was just like, he knew it was, oh, well, that has to be my Flair now. He's like the first comment.
See, I still have...
Because I missed out on Team Underwears all those years ago.
Mine is still... I'm Team Evanger AMA. Or I picked Evanger AMA for my Flair.
Mine's still Team Gus Davidson.
Yeah, a lot of people have that one.
Yeah.
It's surprising.
Good thanks to good old Josh Barnett.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Fabricio coming off the win over Walt Harris, kind of. I mean, it was a hell of a win.
Walt Harris got a participation award.
Yeah. That was a goddamn grappling tournament. Alistair Overeem loss, which is weird as shit still when you think about it. That was a weird fight. I mean, to be fair, Fabricio has a lot of those, though. Like, Fabricio's last 4 fights is a win over Walt Harris, a loss of Fabricio Overeem.
Overeem.
That's not a person. Alistair Overeem.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me, I don't mean to interrupt. Did you see co-main event, I think it was this week. It was Master Tweet Theater. It was, hey, Detroit, you ready to grab your 40s and guzzle up? I'm coming to town to drink with y'all. And they're like, oh, clearly that's like, who did they say? Like Rampage Colby? Or someone? Yeah, guess who that was? Alistair Overeem, of all people.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'll drink a 40 with you, Alistair. Turn up!
And they just assume Alistair's like, oh, it's a Dutchman. He's probably assuming, is this how Americans in Detroit are?
Chatch!
Yeah.
It's my Danny Brown impression. Shout out to Danny Brown. If y'all don't know Danny Brown, the fuck are you doing? Go listen to Danny Brown on the Church of What's Happening Now. I'll put a link in the description. I won't do that. I'm gonna forget. Tweet me and I'll send you a link for Danny Brown on the Church of What's Happening Now. It's fucking the best. Alright, anyway. So Fabricio, weird record.
Fighting Jimmy Hopkins from Bully.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Which, by the way, I played.
Right?
I played Bully again recently.
Oh, I did.
I do every Halloween.
It was fantastic.
No, I play Bully every Halloween.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
because I have a save file that's
on
just
the Halloween night,
specifically for Halloween night.
Yeah.
I just run around and double leg people and hit them in the face.
Dressed up as like a skeleton.
Yeah,
or whatever.
no, I'm dressed up as a skeleton and I'm running around and I'm like, maybe I'll do a trick or treat, and maybe I'll double leg you and hit you in the face.
Oh no, dude!
Especially
I
the teachers. You can fuck teachers up.
you can knock them out if you're lucky.
No,
yeah.
I do it on the regs, bro.
But I mean, the easiest way is you stand on the desk of the lady, the assistant principal, the vice principal, and you get a fucking slingshot.
Oh no, I don't do any of that.
No, I
just double leg them and I beat the shit out of them.
No, and I remember I couldn't get 100%. I couldn't get 100% of the game because you had to find all the collectibles. I don't have time for that. But I did do the point where I did all the go-kart races, and I'd run the fuck out of people over. The prefects would run after you. You do a jackknife 180, hit them again, rinse and repeat until they're knocked out.
Dude, it's the best double leg in all video games.
Oh, it is,
right?
yeah.
Like, there's never been...
You're just a sweep. Well,
there's
you can't do it on the bigger guys. You can't do it on the bigger guys because it hits
the
their
fucking
knee.
1-2 sweep.
Yeah.
The fucking tie combo where you go throw a 1-2 and a leg kick.
Yeah, and you throw like a spinning back kick.
No, dog. No, there's a 1-2 leg kick.
Oh, no, there's a roundhouse, too.
Yeah, there's a roundhouse, yeah. But you go pop, 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 and then you slam the leg kick in. It's fucking awesome. Bully, everyone sleeps on Bully's double leg game. It's fucking dope. Like, all I do in that game is run at people and double leg them. And then I just punch them in the fucking face.
Oh, and if you press circle or B, you can actually, like, when their health's all down, you could, like, spit in their face, like humiliation.
Yeah.
Yeah, people forget about that. They can just fucking full mouth.
It's fucking
spit
great.
in their face, yeah.
It's that game is the truth. We should.
Please, Rockstar, make a well, they can't though, because you can't. They can't because they make a whole thing. Oh well, nowadays there'd be like a school shooter or something fucked up, you know.
Yeah, but there's talks about that game. Like they should at least LA Noir that shit, like and do a remake. Like if they did a
well, you see, they ported LA Noir to 4K now, right?
Is it?
Yeah, it's in 4K now. They redid it.
They should do that for Bully, man.
And they brought
I'd buy that right
Nintendo Switch.
I saw that. But yeah, if they brought it, if they did read it Bully, I'd buy that shit right now. It's goddamn best game Rockstar ever made. I still play that game every Halloween because all I want to do is double leg motherfuckers and go dress up in a fucking skeleton costume and fucking throw pop rocks at motherfuckers. Weird
actual
shit.
firecrackers.
Yeah, or firecrackers.
That would probably almost kill you.
TP and motherfuckers. There's all kinds of options.
Alien
dudes.
Marbles.
Yeah.
Goddamn slingshot
it's
to
the
dome.
best. Anyway,
a baseball bat that would kill you.
We're so off topic. Hanging out with the bum in the parking lot, teaching you cool boxing moves.
Yeah. Anyways, I am actually choosing Boomerang over Jimmy Hopkins. I know Jimmy Hopkins I think he's a submission guy, right?
Jimmy Hopkins is real tough. He has a little bit of both. He's mostly gonna slang and bang. But he does have some chokes. But that's
this looks like some KO fucking power. Well, he lost.
He's gonna stand and bang with dudes like Victor Pesa killed.
I kind of low key want to just do upset on fucking Boomerang.
He killed Juice to the Gills. Superman? Nope. Hulk?
No, that's Ion Kutalaba.
No. This suit
You're
blew away
Borrachina. No, this guy looks kind of like chubby big.
Oh, you're right. Luis Enrique Barbosa de Oliveira is not
You're thinking of Borrachina.
Well, yeah, because his name is Luis
but Borrachina's not even heavyweight. Yeah.
Okay. To be fair to me, Luis Enrique de Silva.
You're just thinking of another Luis Enrique.
Yeah, I was like 50-50.
To be fair, there's probably like 3 of them.
I went like 2 for 5 on that name. To be fair,
just like my favorite Brazilian fighter, Anderson Aldo.
Yeah. Mine's for sure Giblert, but I feel you. All right, well we will go ahead and I'm going
Boomerang.
Yeah, I'm going for Fabricio. I don't trust Fabricio to not just fucking die in the ring sometime. Because he's fought for so goddamn long, and he just...
Gotta watch out for the old right there, Fred, from the State Trooper!
Exactly, but I feel like the grappling advantage is so far in Fabricio's side that One takedown in this fight's kind of a wrap. But I'm going to go Fabricio. No faith at all in that, but I will go that way. You said you had Beck, right?
Yeah.
Me as well. So we will wrap this episode here, I guess, man. I don't really have anything to plug other than we will have the finally have the Cat Zingano fucking interview that Chris did 18 years ago. Posted on the website, which we'll put a link in the description.
I emailed it to you too, so you know.
Bill, yeah, now I can actually post it. So we'll make that happen, for sure. But I don't know. Is there any articles or anything you have coming up?
Honestly, it's. I mean, like I've said, I gotta finish school.
Well, I don't mean for our website. I mean like.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, you have any articles you're doing that you like that you want to plug for the union or anything?
Not. I mean.
Or whatever.
Just for my class, I'm just working on the cannabis article. My rough draft, my cannabis stories due this week, so maybe. Once I'm done with that, on Sunday I could share that.
Cool, yeah.
Anyone who's interested in medical cannabis and its health benefits and the stereotypes against it.
There we go. We will absolutely post that in our article section once it goes live on whatever, on your site, actually, right?
I think, honestly, it's just going to be a Word document at this point. There's no site yet.
Even still, you have your own website.
From another class. That's the one, that was the MMA thing I did.
But you can't post your weed thing on... Okay, well, you can post it on our class.
On
our site.
Let's post on our thing.
Yeah. We'll do
just staying off topic or something. I don't know.
Dog, everything's on topic for our site. Have you fucking heard our podcast?
Yeah, right.
It's about whatever our topic is. And weed is always one of them, including booze.
That is true.
It's like being like,
Very
bro,
true.
you can't post booze shit on our website. It's like, well, have you seen our website? It's
half
all
the time,
booze
to be
shit.
fair, last year I was pretty much high in every podcast we did.
That's, to be fair, I'm not high on most podcasts we do. Yeah. So, I feel like we're really on a good... Actually, Chris, we did smoke weed before this podcast. We should be fair to the people.
We did.
So, well, on that note, I guess this is a good place to wrap it. But check out the Cat Zingano article. If you click the articles link on our website, I'll put it up there. Who knows? Maybe even if I get creative enough with editing, I'll actually post on the podcast feed. But I'll probably just end up posting on the website. So if you go to thesoundofviolence.com, you click the articles link up at the navigation menu, and you can find it there. Or you can send an email to the Chris at thesoundofviolence.com or sovpod@gmail.com. We will always respond to you as long as I am... remember to check that fucking email address. You can also... as we always recommend, join MMA Tycoon. Chris, you joined MMA Tycoon yet?
No, but I should.
You really should. One of our sponsors, Judo Bill Tyler.
I want to make some t-shirts too.
Dog, I will send you so many t-shirts. I'll tell you, everybody listening right now, if you join MMApodcasts.com, nope, that's not the name of the site, MMAtycoon.com, and you send Salty Kawa, SALTY, space KAWA, Salty Kawa. If you hit me up on that site and you send me a message saying you listen to the podcast, I will send you 100 free Sound of Violence t-shirts in game. I will also send you $10,000 in game.
He will also send you a loot crate so he can steal your money.
Is that how that works?
I'm kidding. I'm quoting what Battlefront did. EA.
I know. I was joking.
Yeah.
I will send you guys a bunch of shit, and I'll hook you up with. Who knows? Maybe if you're cool enough, we'll try and sneak it into Kangaroo's MMA gym, with the homie Judo Bill Tyler, who also sponsors the podcast. So everybody go check that out. That game is cool as shit. I actually genuinely really like it. I have a dude fighting for the title this weekend and next weekend.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no title this weekend, title next weekend, but I do have Edgy Bra fighting this weekend, which I'm pretty hyped about. And yeah, man, we'll go ahead and wrap it here, but I miss you guys. I like doing this podcast. It's been a lot of fun.
It's fun, man. It's always fun.
always, we will, we'll eventually start posting our picks on the website somewhere.
And eventually, too, we'll have a special edition where we show you us on video somewhere.
That's right. I'll eventually buy a garbage fucking, like, 1080p video webcam or something where we can start getting this on there.
I wouldn't consider that garbage. I think I'd say like 720 or more.
Well, you can see all 18 of my chins. We'll get it going. So
you see all the pixels on my massive forehead.
You can see all 400 beer cans lining the background. So we'll get that going. But if you guys want to hit us up, like I said, you can email us. You can also hit us up at TSOVPod on Twitter. Also, we are now on Podchaser. If you go ahead and look up Podchaser on Twitter or podchaser.com, I believe is the address. They have they're claiming to be the IMDb of podcasts, so we're going through,
which is helpful.
Yeah, and I've been going through as I'm listening each week. I've just been rating podcasts. So if you look up The Sound of Violence, we have officially claimed our page, and you can see, I believe you can publicly view which ones we're rating. So, like, as I'm listening to shows throughout the week, if you go to our rated podcasts or reviewed podcasts, you will probably be able to see the most recent ones I put up and what I'm listening to as we go throughout the week. So, I thought that was kind of cool, and all the guys over there are nice. They helped me make sure we got claimed and everything. So, we will go ahead and wrap it there, but send us some love. As the homie Judo Bell Tower did, send us some podcast recommendations if you got them. I know we listen to a lot of shit, so if there's any that you haven't heard us mention before, fucking give me a shout out, dude. I guarantee you we'll feature it on the show. Also, if you know of an MMA movie that we have not yet covered, or I should say a movie with an MMA fighter in it that we have not yet covered, look out for that, because
I know Karen wanted to do Captain America Winter Soldier, right?
True, but for our next one, we are 100% doing the suggestion Judo Bell Tower gave us of, I forget what it is. I believe it's...
I'm sure it's good. Well, probably not good.
I forget who it's
good.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the right way to phrase that. It's like, I don't know if it's good, but it's good for a commentary. I believe it's Stephen Bonner's movie. So we will 100% do that when it comes around time. I believe
it's probably called like Rage Warrior or something.
I'm sure it's worse than that. And I believe
excuse me, Psycho Rage Warrior 2.
Yeah, I believe it's around Christmas week when that's going to be free. So we have a week without an MMA card. So we'll probably do that around then. Also, I don't know if we've announced, we'll probably do an end of the year show. Where we actually give like a top 25 MMA podcast that we like this year.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just do like a fucking overall, like, hey, here are 25 podcasts that if you aren't listening to, you should definitely fucking be doing. No promises, because I can't promise that I won't be a lazy fuck and bail on that idea, but it seems like a good idea while I'm drunk thinking about this right now, post 4 Loco. So, we'll go ahead and wrap this. Check out UFC Fight Night Sydney. There was a Bellator event tonight. I don't give a fuck because they tape delayed it so they can eat all the dicks. Just like the Conor event that I don't want to talk about. Which, by the way, we didn't talk about all week and I'm real proud of us.
Yeah. We mentioned the ref like once for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Which, like, it's not newsworthy.
And that's it. We'll stop there because we keep talking about it now. We're going to talk about it, which we don't want to do. So that's
Beautiful.
It for me. That's it from you. I ain't got no more shit to say. Y'all have a good one and enjoy the fights. When the fights tomorrow? Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow afternoon. I believe the prelims, the Fight Pass prelims, I think start around 3-ish or 1-ish, somewhere in there. So we'll wrap it there. But till next time, everybody. Love you. Go do something decadent. We out. Bye.